Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. It's time for episode 2 of Mass Effect Aftermath here with Tork, McGowan, Eloreya, and Alpha with his drone companion, sort of Geth counterpart, Omega. And last time in our first session, the group came together in the large frontier town of Port Falstone, having been contacted by the kind of local smugglers guild to take care of some work they needed done for a fee, for a good amount of credits. After hearing about the job, the group agreed to take up the offer and went to go procure a vehicle for transit, as they had been charged with tailing a convoy of vehicles that was heading out somewhere. These vehicles were belonged to the LMD, the Lusankian Mining Directorate, and they are a mega corporation that controls entire planets. And when they find something they want, they sort of move in and do their best to take it, kind of regardless of who else might already be there. And so the Smugglers Guild wanted to kind of head this off, nip it in the bud before it gets out of control and too big for them to manage. As even though they are criminals to some extent, they like their independence and their privacy, which they have currently in Port Falstone, and they fear that if the directorate moves in, they'll lose that independence. So the group took an old battered Mako that they acquired from a local Krogan merchant named Varicor Grom, a survivor of the Reaper War, just a little over 300 years ago. And the Mako, having seen a lot of use in previous centuries, had been refitted, refurbished in a very ramshackle sort of way. The gun turret and some of the other controls had been rerouted and kind of had to be managed by other systems after a lot of the corrosion and damage the vehicle had sustained over time, including like a gun turret, like sidecar, rather than having it be controlled from the interior cockpit. And after a rough drive through the wilderness, McGowan, not being somewhat unfamiliar with a model this old, managed to, we'll say, crash, to put it bluntly, a few times on the way to following the tracks after they had planted a tracking device on one of the vehicles, engineered by Alpha, as the party kind of waited in Port Falstone for the convoy to leave. Following these tracks, and after this tumultuous drive through the wilderness, the group found themselves on the edges of a frozen lake, looking over towards a glacier in the distance, with a small camp, well lit, made of prefabricated structures, some of which seemed to still be under construction. The 3 vehicles of the convoy were there, 2 smaller jeeps and one much larger sort of convoy carrier, a truck kind of thing. And they spotted a few other guards kind of walking around in this place, as well as a path up the glacier, just a little, not too far away from the camp and where they are currently standing on the shore of the lake. And we left off last time, as the group began to set off across the frozen lake along the edges of the forest, trying to carefully make their way up towards this path up the glacier, so they might have a better vantage point overhead of this LMD camp that seems to have been constructed out here. So, party agents, what do you guys? How do you guys proceed? You guys have just started kind of moving across. You've left the Mako just back behind the edges of the forest, And there's a massive open expanse in front of you, and to your right is the tree line that proceeds almost to the edge of the glacier, maybe 100 feet or so shy.
So we're taking the ridge line in, right?
Is that what we agreed to do last time?
So we were
I
following
think so.
we were following the tracker, and so we followed to the edge of the forest line. Do we still see the vehicle? Are the edge line?
Yes,
And the edge line is near the base.
Rhea had spotted them through her scope. She'd pulled out her Kishok harpoon rifle, a Batarian-made weapon, and had spotted the three vehicles, or presumably the three vehicles. It was the same formation. It was the two smaller jeeps, the road runners. Yeah, you kind of got some of the heat signatures there. It's not quite like a super powerful thermal scope that can like see through walls or anything, but you were able to see like the heat from the vehicles, which indicated they had recently been driven. Again, these are electric, so they don't generate quite as much heat as a combustion vehicle does, but they would, after time, kind of get a little warm. And there were also some heat signatures of a few guards. You saw the six people, six kind of standard-looking LMD troopers standing nearby those three vehicles, and you saw a patrol of two more troopers, each with a Varan, kind of on the end of a hard light leash type thing on the end of their Omni tools. Kind of patrolling, not quite between you and the camp, but moving in that direction. So if you guys are kind of looking up, they're kind of coming down this way, but they're a ways off from you. They haven't seen you. There's no sign that they've seen you.
So how big is this camp? Like, is it just the three vehicles staying together?
Let's test out the map, shall we? This is something we didn't get to do last time. Fingers crossed, see if this works. We were running into some weird, like frame rate laggy issues sometimes. So I'm going to switch this over here. It might take a second to get our overlay swapped.
So is this where we cue a little Wayne's World?
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, party time. Excellent.
James, I need permission for screen sharing, please.
James.
The God James. There we go. Great. Let's see how this works.
The man behind the curtain.
Oh.
Voices in my head.
Oh.
It's on.
That's cool.
Okay, so you guys. I need to move.
Oh, Lord.
My thumbnail around here. There we go. All right, so you guys are not quite here, but you're kind of coming from that direction. So let me zoom in here. So what you guys see kind of coming up is here. If you can see that. Hopefully everything on the overlay is going well. Yep. And then the whole camp, well, you were coming at it flat from like on a vertical horizontal plane. So I would say this is kind of what you were able to see from across where you can see that from further up on the screen there would be more lights that you had spotted from a distance, but what the configuration of the buildings and stuff, you didn't have a high enough vantage point to be able to make out. So you kind of see along in here. And the glacier trail is up over here. Hopefully this is working. Yes. Interesting. Yeah. So we're having some technical difficulties with the map here, but the players can all see it, and hopefully, if we can't figure this out tonight, we'll be able to do some troubleshooting and.
Oh no.
But it is what it is. The players can see, and I will do my best to sort of describe it so that viewers at home can also sort of get a good sense of what we're looking at. But there is, so the players are able to see kind of this, there's a small glacier path which would be kind of to the north of their position, 100 feet or so as they're moving across the lakeside here. And there are a small patrol kind of just moseying along casually, on watch, but just sort of in their routine. There's a small sort of outbuilding with a sort of light and generator nearby, illuminating a big sort of section near a road where the three vehicles are parked. And there are also, let me grab these guys, 6 troopers. And there is, over on the far end of the camp from where the party is, they would also be able to see something that looks like it's low to the ground, very broad, and those of you who have like sort of military experience would recognize that it's probably like a hangar, or not a hangar, sorry, a landing pad for smaller like shuttles and things like that. But it's not yet complete. It is sort of under construction, and not all of the paneling is put up, and it's sort of about, maybe a third way through construction. So, and I'll say too quickly for you guys for reference, the way I, for cover, the yellow crates there, those are 3/4 cover, so they would come up to about like your chest or so. The planks, the metal kind of sections of wall and construction materials, those are half cover, so that's up to your waist. And then any full-sized wall, like building walls, would count as full cover. Just so you guys have that in mind while you're kind of moving around and stuff. So how do you guys want to proceed? You're kind of moving your way along. What's your marching order, first of all? Let's get that figured out.
Can I ask about it, doing any sort of like perception check to gain like a high ground advantage, or see if there's a way?
Yeah, you guys had seen last time near the end of the session, you had spotted a path up kind of through the glacier a little bit, kind of maybe a little bit of a scramble, but that's kind of where you guys were heading to be able to get a vantage point. The glacier is about, the tallest parts of it are, or at least from this part of it, are like 40 or 50 feet above where you guys currently are. So it would be like an uphill scramble. That's kind of where you guys are heading towards. Would be to your north again.
Very into that.
Again, kind of over here. You can see that there's a little path there, the glacier wall kind of along here. And then you guys are kind of, you found an opening, or like a kind of an approachable section right there where there's no wall.
If we are able to access one of the computers on the base, if we are able to access one of the computers on this base, this unit can download information that would be good for our employer.
Yeah, besides killing all the people, we're here for data, right?
You were here for data, and if you can find one, like an officer's key card.
Yes.
There was a bonus for finding a key card. And the other, it was to sort of disrupt the activities of this camp, whether that's, sort of, you're basically given free reign to deal with the problem however you saw fit. But it was to sort of disrupt operations here, find out what they're doing, and bring as much information back as you can, while also kind of throwing as big of a wrench as you can into the operation here.
Given the unknown variable of number of units within this camp, I suggest we sneak in.
I also think that we should take time to observe long enough to see if we can use, or see which guard is using the key card if we can. I mean, if it's that easy.
Neither of these plans are my specialty, but I'll let one of you call it.
Well, they kind of intertwine, but it just means we take an extra 3 minutes to check it out. when we get up there.
I'm not particularly good at being sneaky, but I can wait with the best of them. So
Alternatives to sneaking in would be climbing into our vehicle and rushing in forwards, guns blazing.
my concern about that is they also have a vehicle with a pretty big gun on it that is in much better condition than ours.
They did the smaller jeeps did also have guns as well, but they require a person to man them. It's like a Humvee, whereas the bigger truck had kind of like an automated turret on top. And your Mako 2, as a reminder, was also, it wasn't badly damaged, but you had sustained 56 hull point damage. Hull point damage.
That sounds
So you went from 150 to 94. So Mako is definitely not in tip-top shape after kind of got driven a bit recklessly through the wilderness.
Gee, I wonder who did that.
Mm.
Mm.
The Mako did that to itself.
He'll get his redemption moment one day. One day it'll be the most epic thing that he's ever done.
Well,
So
until
then-
that day.
So then are we in consensus? While the probability is low, our best plan still is to sneaking in, gathering more information.
Yes.
Okay,
Aye.
so as you guys you're heading up towards the gap in the glacier, like the kind of the scramble.
Yes.
yeah.
What is the marching order?
I would be last.
Okay, so Eloreya is in the back.
I will be just ahead of Eloreya.
Okay,
Sorry, Mike,
McGowan.
can you check your Discord message real quick?
I don't have Discord up, but sure.
I think he means the Zoom message.
Oh, no, I sent him a message on Discord.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry to interrupt. I think our presenter is having technical difficulties and trying to get it sorted out.
Mhm.
Do, 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 do.
I
Okay.
also noticed.
Sure, yeah. All right, so we're going to try something here. I'm going to stop the screen share and I'm going to put this as my virtual background. And hopefully I'm not in the way. I'll have to maybe adjust my camera here. All right. Let me see if I can put this as a virtual background. I don't know how I will do this, but
I believe in you.
choose. I want to do a video. Add video. No, I don't know if this is gonna. I don't know if I can make this my background. I don't know if there's a way for me to do this because it's not. It's like it's in a program. It's not a file, so I can't upload a video or anything.
It's not about sharing a source or anything like that.
Dude, I have no idea. There's a reason I'm not doing any of the technical stuff. I have no clue.
I mean, I'm the technical person. Do you want me to roll for it?
Oh God.
Oh, if I
Roll
thought that would
for it.
help.
Hell yeah.
I wonder, could I?
So do I.
Yeah, I have. I'm out of ideas. Well, I sure. Did you send it to me? Let me see. Okay,
Or if you're
we have a
using
possible. Yeah, the screen, the still images are not gonna. Yeah, there's no. That's okay. Yeah, no, like
we use the
yeah.
Arkenforge's master toolkit.
And still learning how to do it. So ironing out the kinks and figuring stuff out. But yeah, I guess if we can get a quick screen cap of that, that's the whole map there. And then here, actually, let me do something quick. I'll just turn off. Hang on. I just need to turn off the lighting. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Why can't I get back to the cartographer? There it is. Okay,
The old-fashioned,
lighting.
new-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way.
All right, so we're gonna
fashion's
do
way.
that, and then
Brought by hand and send it by mail.
Okay, we're gonna do that. That way, everybody can see things clearly, and then you can also see where shadows are. I am going to turn off your guys' lighting. I'm gonna turn off the lighting for these guys, and turn off the lighting for these guys because they don't need it anymore. Okay, I think we're fine. I'm gonna put you guys kind of up on the ridge here so that there's at least some sort of visual reference for where you are. Okay, what's the marching order real quick? So Eloreya was in the back. McGowan was in front of her. Who was next?
More than likely, Alpha and Omega will probably go next.
Okay.
And we have Big Tanky in front.
Sure.
I'll go last.
Eloreya was last, but you guys want to like rock paper scissors?
Oh,
Arm wrestle for
after you.
What? No.
After you.
Tork, I insist on going last. It's
I
absolutely my pleasure.
insist.
We're not going to do this again.
McGowan just starts
There-
looking at. Just like, "Oh, fuck outta here."
I'm just going with McGowan. McGowan's the reason I'm here.
Okay. Should I quickly?
I go. Fine.
What do you need, James, to get a still of the map here? That was like just a small part of it though. So I pulled out so that we could see I pulled out the player view so we could see the whole thing. I cannot do that. Arkenforge does not work that way. It doesn't save it as like well, let me see. Let me see. Let's go here.
No.
There it is. Data maps. Oh, here we go. I don't know which one of these will work, hopefully, but I will put one in the chat here real quick, if I can. And then hopefully this will.
Wicked Pixie hopes we're having a good evening.
I
am.
I think we're gonna once we get this stuff figured out.
Just wait for it.
Just give us a couple more minutes. Where'd it
One is
go?
incoming.
Time keeps on
I just had to try and find. I hope this works. Okay, I'm sending a map in there. Let me know if that will work as a still, and then that way, at least people can see what we've got here, and we'll have to experiment with the bells and whistles and figure out if we can make any of that stuff work or whatever. it may not be a viable option so long as we're doing remote stuff. But
If you had OBS, you could just change your camera to the map view
I'll have to set
instead of
that up.
using your camera. We can
I'll
talk
have-
about it later.
Yeah, I'll have to set that up. But that is a good suggestion. I was kind of hoping what I was going to be able to do, but it didn't work through Zoom. Okay, so here's the Mapsy Doodle. And can I?
Mapsy Doodle.
A dandy.
All right, I think we're good to go. Is everything where it needs to be for?
Yep.
So can I screen share? Will that screw everything up again?
I think it will.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll just do both. We'll do a hybrid.
Theater.
All right. I'll be able to move stuff around and I can clarify things on my end, so it'll work out. All right. So now that we are sort of back on track here, you guys have you're far enough away where a stealth check would not be necessary for you to kind of sneak your way along through the snow. It's muffling your footsteps. It's very dark outside. There's not a lot of species in Mass Effect that have things like dark vision. So as long as you guys stay out of the light sources from the camp, the generators and the kind of light posts along the perimeter, you're fine. And so you kind of get over to the ice shelf and begin to scramble up the side, and it's tricky. So I'll need everybody to quickly just roll an athletics check. It's tricky, but it's not like extremely difficult. It's more just that it requires a bit of attention. You have to sort of be focusing on where you're putting your feet and kind of where you're putting your hands.
9.
9. It's very slippery for you, Eloreya. What did everybody else get?
Apparently, this is no problem for me because I rolled a nat 20.
Ooh, nice.
16 from McGowan.
Okay. Do you have a card, Alpha, from last time still?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, because I was going to say if you don't, I'll send you another one, but you can only have one at a time.
Do have a
Damn
card.
quadrupeds.
What'd you get, Tork?
With bonuses, I got a 10.
A 10. How about you, McGowan?
16.
McGowan and Alpha.
We
You
were
two
fun-
are scrambling up, kind of moving along, just kind of assuming that your compatriots are following along behind you. And they are, but they're kind of struggling. Eloreya, she's not able to get her feet kind of on some of the rock fragments that the glacier has pulled up, or on some of the ice kind of shards that are sticking out, or like on the patches of snow that have swept across it. And Tork is just really heavy, and with his big Krogan hump on his back, he's a little top heavy as well, and so he's making his way along, but he is doing that. Yeah, he is losing his
I'm
balance
just
here and
imagining
there. And
we're still in the back, and it's just that after you, and we're both like just struggling up front.
Yep.
I insist.
So do we have it? So are we climbing up to the top of like a plateau, or is it like coming up and over a wall?
It's more of like a plateau, but it's not flat. It's sort of this curving, swooping, kind of irregular. It's the top of a glacier, so it's this massive ice shelf that's kind of just rolling along very slowly across the land here. So there's like bits of rock and things like that that are also sticking up out of it that have been picked up and carried along over time. So I mean, I would say generally it's flat, but it is kind of rolling and uneven in places. It's not like up and over. It's kind of you hit the top and you can just sort of kind of move across
McGowan,
it.
do you have any type of rope and/or material we could toss down to help them up?
I actually don't know. This is Dan speaking. I actually don't know.
Is rope a thing in Mass Effect?
I don't
haven't
believe it
I haven't
is.
seen it in the handbook. It can be, but it's not. I don't think it's in like the I don't know if they have like
I don't
climbers
know.
tools and stuff. They do have
Omni-rope?
like they do have Omni Tool mod, like an Omni Tool mod, I think, that is like basically helps you like climb up
Like a
surfaces.
grappling
Well,
hook
I think
mod?
you could get like
Yeah.
a grappling hook. Yeah, I thought that was something I saw, but
Yeah, I know there's stuff that like sort of serves as a facsimile of it, but I don't know if it's just like straight up like hempen rope, which is a little weird.
Don't worry, because of my hump, if I fall, I'll just roll.
Um,
I'm just imagining that Eloreya's wearing like a really cool like sniper suit, but the shoes on it are too slick. So like they're just not like looks really
There's just
cool.
no
but
traction.
yeah, no traction.
And then Tork is just like so heavy that he keeps like causing snow collapses.
They're like
Trying to
making
do
up
the
with,
Wolverine thing where he just stabs his hand into the side, but then he just breaks.
Can I roll a check for using my hammer to help me climb?
I mean, I would say
Ooh.
like if what I was gonna say is that you guys do make it up on your own, but it just takes a little bit. And there's kind of like it's kind of some moments where you know, especially for you, Torque, where you climb up a few feet and get to a spot where there's not like really many like handholds for you for your Krogan arms, and you sort of start to slide
Krogan
back
arms.
down a little bit, and you kind of like make your way, kind of get your way back up. But you guys do manage to catch up.
What do you mean by Krogan arms?
Well, you know, kind of low down on the body there. A little, not like T-Rex,
I mean,
but they're a little stubby. You know, we got.
Rhea, are you sure you want to let him go in front of you if you're not sure if he's going to make it all the way up?
I'm in front of him. He and
But eventually,
so
with McGowan and Alpha and Omega, waiting for you at the top, you do eventually climb up there. You're a little tired. It was, you know, and a little embarrassed, but you have arrived, and now kind of turning to your left, you are now looking down over the camp, and you can see that whole image there in the chat, and you know, you see there's the building that the vehicles are parked out in front of, has kind of a, well, from that side you wouldn't be able to see, but you can tell that it's one of the larger structures there. It has more light fixtures and kind of more, you know, there's a few like ventilator units and things on the ceiling. It looks like it's, you know, 2 stories tall. It's like a small warehouse almost, more than it is like, you know, then it looks like a barracks or something. There's another building very similar to that, just kind of across the way from the vehicles. That's looks like it's going to be a similar structure, another kind of garage. Below that is that landing pad that what would that be? That octagonal, sort of incomplete octagonal structure. That is the incomplete landing pad there. There's another small incomplete structure near the base of the glacier, and then 2 other buildings up along the glacier wall there. And then you can also see, well, yeah, I mean, you see the buildings and you see the vehicles, and you've seen some stuff before, but now from this perspective now, you would be able to see some potentially see more details. So if I could get 2 perception checks or 1 at advantage, so 2 people or
I
1
got
person
you.
with an assist.
I will assist.
Okay, so
Eloreya.
McGowan and Eloreya, you kind of drop down and creep up through the snow, crunching beneath you as you get to the edge of the glacier here. And Eloreya, you pull out your sniper, the barrel telescoping out, the stock and the grip both kind of ejecting slightly from their compact state, the scope popping out, and you kind of put it up and look down. McGowan, you're kind of looking through the small, like kind of round lenses of your helmet. They're not really giving you any like night vision or anything, but they do kind of provide a little bit more definition to like to shapes and things that are already kind of in the light.
So with the assist, is that at advantage?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yep, it would be an advantage.
Oh, nat 20.
Nice.
My first
okay.
one was a 12, but nat 20, so
nice.
25. But
sweet. Yeah, very good. All right, so yeah, you would see quite a lot down there then. You would see in the two of the incomplete structures, the structure that looks like it's going to be another garage, and the incomplete structure that's closest to the glacier, you can't see who or what is in there, but you do see lights coming from inside there as well, and you can kind of tell that those lights are moving around a little bit. You do see on the very far side of the camp another patrol of 2 troopers with 2 Baron, moving in the opposite direction that the other 2, the first patrol you saw, was moving.
Okay.
You see again a third group of 2 troopers and 2 Baron at what looks like a fissure, like a cave entrance or a gap in the glacier, which kind of like up and around the glacier wall from where you guys are. You see that all of the light sources that you're able to see are kind of independent, like tripod stands with small generators hooked or connected to each light fixture. And you see lots of like low cover, lots of these like supply crates and building materials and stuff kind of scattered around where there's room. The camp looks like it's very much like under construction, and there's plenty of building materials for more of these prefab sort of simple geometric kind of square buildings.
And so we're about you said about 45-ish feet up, and how far away are we from them?
You would be I would say you're probably 50, 60 meters away.
Oh, okay.
So you're a good distance, but you're up in the darkness, so you're well out of sight, well above everything. But there is kind of a big gap.
I mean, if I have a pretty good view from here, I might as well pitch that like I can definitely hit them from here if I were to stay. And like keep watch of everyone as you guys stealth in, just to keep one roll out of being another problem.
So is the closest building to us that warehouse you're talking about, or is
Yeah,
it one of the other buildings?
The closest building to you would be, I would say, the large warehouse type structure that the vehicles are parked out in front of, or the incomplete structure near the base of the glacier, which is much smaller. It looks like I don't know. It's like a third. It's like a third the size. So it's definitely not like a vehicle garage. But like what it's for, it's hard to say as it's incomplete, and it's only got like 3 walls up basically.
So if we were to get into the large warehouse style building, we might be able to gather further information and or sabotage said vehicles so additional troops would not be able to get away from the Krogan.
Yeah, if we don't want anyone getting away.
Tork, you're muted, bud.
I just saw him smiling.
If we are to sneak into the large warehouse style building, that is most likely the location where we will gather additional information. Plus, it is closer to the vehicles where we can sabotage them, so the soldiers cannot get away from the Krogan.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah.
So you 2 go in, and us 2 stay out here and make sure that no stragglers get away. Is that what you're saying?
We have two objectives. We could have one party go for the vehicles to sabotage vehicles, one party to go into the warehouse to gather how many units are inside and to gather additional information.
I'm willing to go into the warehouse. I probably have well, actually I might be better of better use over with
I would say on the approach, as you guys were coming up to the glacier and getting closer to the camp, you would have seen a side door on that building. Smaller, maybe at most, like 1.5 meters wide, so 4 feet, 5 feet wide. Um, and you would have seen kind of what would have been like where a garage door probably would be. You weren't approaching it from the proper angle to get like full on view of it, but kind of based on where the positioning of the vehicles were and where kind of the external light fixtures that you saw were, you could see like kind of the front door was probably facing in towards the rest of the camp. And then as you kind of approach from the south, you would have seen another door kind of illuminated by some of the other like exterior lights, and not in the path of, but that the first patrol you saw kind of cutting in between you.
So from what I see is we have two objectives we can work on right now. We can find out what's in the building, which is most likely where I can hack to get additional information. There's probably going to be several units in there. If you guys want to go through and actually murder hobo the entire camp, we can. The vehicles are also near the warehouse, so we can either sneak into the warehouse together, which allows us to rush the vehicles if we need to, or we could split up where some people go into the warehouse and try to sneak around, while the rest sneak around to the vehicles and try to sabotage the vehicles.
As much as I am interested in sneaking in and figuring out what's going on before we just kick everything off, the odds of me successfully sneaking anywhere are pretty low.
Same.
So this might be a situation where, we make a lot of noise in one place.
How is Alpha's stealth? Who's the stealthiest out of all?
I am a rather large metal dog, so I can stealth, but it's not my specialty.
What's your bonus to stealth? I only have a +2.
+2 as well.
I have 4.
Dan, what's your bonus?
Well, to stealth is 4, but I am wearing heavy armor.
Yeah, so the heavy armor will automatically negate your dex roll or your stealth roll.
Yeah.
Damn.
Or rather, it gives you disadvantage on it.
Yeah, so
I've never been a less stealthy group.
I'm like kind of stealthy.
Well, then it looks like you and I are sneaking in.
This might be a situation where Tork and I make a whole bunch of noise away from that building.
Draw them out?
Draw them away from that building so y'all can get in there and figure out what's going on.
Is there any way for us to like set the alarm off on our Mako?
Well,
it doesn't have like a car alarm.
Yeah.
It's like a tank rover. It's not really like a car.
It's got to have an alarm, right?
I mean, does a tank have an alarm?
Does it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Probably does when it takes massive damage.
Or it's like, I mean, you're the Marine. Does a tank do tanks have alarms?
I worked in helicopters. I did not work on tanks. So did
your helicopter have an alarm?
Yes, it did. When there was a fatal error with the engine.
Yeah,
that alarm was going off. You already knew what was going to happen.
It wasn't like a guy just checking the door and walking down the street at like 2 a.m.
Oh, I mean,
cars.
we did have to do an emergency landing right next to the barracks at about 3 a.m. one night because they were doing a night practice and failed.
Interesting.
But wasn't an alarm.
A night practice failed.
One thing to keep in mind, playing into stealth, is that if we do anything to attract their attention, they're going to start paying more attention, even if it's further away.
That's true.
So so at this point in time, it might do best for 2 of us to go through and sneak into there, or just have me sneak into there and you 3 work on sabotaging the vehicles.
Aren't you the most well equipped to sabotage the vehicles?
Most likely, yes, but I'm also the most well equipped to go through and hack the computer on the inside as well.
Yeah,
I have hacking tools as well. So if we need to split up, like,
well, if you
I
have
don't think we
tools,
should split up. I think I think that we should move up together, and us three should find a hiding spot while you try to hack each of the vehicles. And then if you get caught, then we're all there to cover you. And then we
Okay.
move inside.
It's as you guys are kind of talking and hashing this out, overlooking the edge of the glacier that you see from. It's the building most. It would be the building most directly in front of the cave fissure, just inside the perimeter from that like smaller, partially finished structure. You see three people come around the corner. You don't see them exit because the door is on the far side of the building from where you are, but you see two LMD troopers flanking what looks like some kind of officer. It's an Turian in like black and gold armor with a kind of a it's a shoulder cape with a black outside and a gold inside, kind of walking. You start to see them walking towards where the vehicles are parked, and that they're about they're about 40 meters away from where the vehicles are, and they're walking at kind of a casual, but like there's a bit of a hustle, but they're not speed walking. You know, they're walking with purpose, I guess is a better way to say it. Just like a Turian in armor, just out there like
those darn,
Just imagining
those
like
darn
mall
Turians.
walkers.
It's, you know, walking through the snow, it's like extra cardio. You know, it makes it a little harder to walk too.
All right, moment
Okay.
of truth. Do we want to stop them now, or do we want to wait?
Well, that's our bonus about to get in a vehicle and drive away. So
Think so?
So I'm still like aimed up with my little nat 20 thing, right? Can I like scope in on this dude?
Yeah, I'll say yeah. Well, since you're still kind of observing in the same section, kind of you haven't really taken your eyes too far off the scope. He is this trio is kind of heading towards the vehicles, and you kind of pan over to where you can see most of this larger warehouse type building is actually sort of obstructing a lot of the view of the vehicles, but you do see the few guards that you're able to spot from your vantage point that aren't being obstructed behind either the large truck or the building, kind of start to walk towards the direction that this officer is coming in, kind of looking like they're going to meet in the middle, kind of out of view.
I kind of turn to the group and I'm like, I can take the shot if you want. Otherwise, we can move it.
Well, so
It's
did
gonna
you say
start-
that? Did you say that it looks like there are other units that are coming up to meet with them?
It looked like some of the troopers at the vehicles that came in were moving to like meet them in the middle.
Okay, so it's not necessarily that he's leaving quickly. He's meeting up with the ones getting out of the vehicles.
Yeah.
okay.
Honestly, they're about to be more grouped together.
Anybody have any grenades and a really good throwing arm?
No grenades.
I've got 2 grenades.
I mean, we could go in guns blazing.
I don't have grenades, but I do have a biotic charge.
Is anybody else kind of like scanning around the glacier top here? While Rhea is
I'm like
I'll
aimed
say
in and stuff.
communicating information.
Yeah, like there's not much I can do from this distance. So I can look around because I have with my
Make
head mod, I have night sight.
Make a perception check, kind of scanning around the glacier top here.
That is 14 or 15. 15. Sorry.
15. Yeah, you would be able to see a little ways up from where you are right now, another kind of scramble clearing spot up the side of the glacier. And up along the top of this whole thing, looking around, there are snow drifts and there are kind of up thrusts of ice and things like that, all scattered around. Some of them are sort of pretty close by, definitely within range of your weapons of this kind of this other kind of path up the glacier.
The current terrain has many favorable advantages. If our target is not leaving, we can move closer for a more decisive strike.
Well, I definitely do need to get closer.
Closer works for me.
Yeah. I'm sitting there zoned up, just like wherever we're going, I'm ready.
Let's move up.
Okay. Ray, are you staying put, or are you going to move up with the group?
I'll move up with the group.
Okay. So you guys move up. Are you staying close to the cliff side, the glacier side, or are you moving kind of further in to take a look at some of this potential, like terrain?
So these drifts in terrain, is it like spots that are between us and like the warehouse, or between us and the non-finished building?
It would, yeah, it's stuff that would be, so the gap that you're seeing this a lot, some of these things kind of around is maybe like 30 feet along the glacier from where you are. And it is, the base of it is about another 30 feet from the close unfinished building.
Okay, yeah, let's head that way then, because 30 feet is 6 seconds of sprinting if we need to.
Okay.
So we'll work over it. We'll work along the cliff and then work our way to the unfinished building.
Okay, yeah. So you guys kind of move along the side there, and as you get close to the this other path, you see that there's kind of on either side near, or rather, the further you get towards the cliff edge, and the further down the path goes, actually the sides along the path get higher, so you have vantage points looking down onto this path with a little bit of cover there as well. And there's a few other, I would say there's like 2 or 3 other structures or kind of bits of ice and rock. One of them is really tall. It would offer something like 3/4 full cover. And then some of the other like not fixtures, but pieces of ice and debris and rock and things like that are sticking up around half, waist height, a little bit higher than that. So there's kind of a mix of heights and positionings and things like that overlooking this path. And between the path and the building, there's like nothing for most of the ways there, and like maybe the last 4 or 5 meters away from the building, there's a pile of construction materials that would be like half cover.
Okay.
But if you were to run down the path, there wouldn't be any cover until you got there. It would be out in the open. And it is also lit by one of the outside kind of tripod lampposts. Light posts, not lampposts. They're not lamps. What is this, Victorian England?
Is it?
It's not.
Plot twist.
It's all a dream.
You thought it was the future.
Guess what? It's steampunk.
Yeah.
While we're kind of surveying this, I would like to burn 2 of my Omnigel to make 2 frag grenades.
Takes a minute each, right?
I think it's an action.
It's 1 Omnigel per grenade, but what's the time it takes?
Let me look.
I think it's a minute. Because an action is really quick. It's 6 seconds.
As an action, you can spend 1 Omnigel.
There you go. Okay, yeah. So what you had to pick 2 grenade types when you made your character. What 2 grenade types did you pick?
I didn't have time to look over them when I made my character, so I just have frag grenades right now.
Okay, that's fine. So you're just gonna make 2 frag grenades?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll take a look at that when we can, and we'll get you squared away. I mean, if you got some time here tonight, go ahead and pick another one. But I think it says like it's between these like 4 or 5 kinds. Like you can't pick any of the super duper crazy grenades and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. What are you guys going to move down the path? Are you going to take up cover around it? What is your approach here as you've now kind of gotten up to the spot that you saw Alpha?
Well, at this point in time, they still haven't noticed us, so I'm suggesting that we keep using cover and just work around it. What do you guys think?
I mean, if they're not noticing us, yeah, why screw up something? Why screw up a good thing?
Okay. So if you guys are going to sneak down, I will need everybody to make stealth checks. And please make one as well for Omega Alpha.
Yes.
Rhea is staying in the back.
McGowan, what? What?
Oh wait,
I rolled a 13 total.
Okay.
Oh,
22.
My drone has a better dex bonus than I do.
nice.
Lord. All right, so I'm going to burn that card that you gave me
Okay.
for an extra d6.
Sure.
I'll take that though. All right, so we're looking at a 14 and a 13.
14 and 13.
14 for
Also,
the drone and 13 for me.
I need to send you your card, Rhea. So give me a second here. I'll send it to you in Discord
Do it.
for simplicity's sake.
Take one for yourself because I got a natural 1.
Okay, yeah, I already have one, but I'll take a second. I can have one per player. I've got 2 now.
Wasted my card.
So we're keeping the same marching order as well there with Tork in the front, Alpha and Omega behind him, McGowan, and then...
No, I'm in the front for this one.
Okay.
I have night vision, so
Okay.
I should go in front.
Oh, you have night vision. Okay, great. I was trying to figure that out. I couldn't find it on the...
Hey,
Is it
DM,
It's
got
under
night
weapon
vision.
mods, but it's an armor mod.
You don't.
I said he's got night vision.
Oh, he's got like... Well, maybe Krogan would make sense if they did, but I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Hang on, I'm just sending you this picture real quick. And then what did we all get for stealth checks?
So Alpha was 13, Omega was 14.
Okay,
I'm 13.
13. McGowan?
Natural 1.
Ooh, that's right. I got the card for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Mike, don't forget that I have danger sense for a class feature. I have the uncanny ability to sense when things aren't right.
Interesting. Is there any more wording to that, or is that it?
There's a lot.
I'll read it.
There's a lot.
I'll read it real quick. And that is that a racial or a
Here.
class?
Here, I'll read it to you if you want.
Sure, go for it. And then the folks at home can follow along.
Danger sense is when you gain an uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't as they should be, giving you an edge when you dodge away from danger. You have advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see, such as traps and spells. To gain this benefit, you can't be blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Okay, so that would just be for like die rolls and stuff. It wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, I know that there's a guy about to pop around the corner, unless you had like a perception check or something.
It says I gain an uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't as they should be.
And that is reflected in your advantage roll on saving throws.
And tying into that factor, I do
and some
have
other stuff too. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for letting me know, because that is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and don't forget that Alpha does have combat sensors, so you cannot be surprised, or me and anybody within 10 meters cannot be surprised.
Okay, nice. Okay, great. Good to know. That is also really good to know. All right, so you guys are moving through, and I will say that because of the group average there, McGowan, even though you rolled that natural 1, everybody else rolled well enough to offset that. And
Gotcha.
so as you're you're about to slip down the ice, your armor gonna seconds away from scraping along it. Behind you, Rhea grabs your shoulder and keeps you from falling. And so you manage to dart across the gap. It is you guys have been in the darkness since you arrived, but to close the distance on this pile of construction materials behind this unfinished structure near the base of the glacier, you're now out in the open, out in the light, and while crouching behind the cover does give some, there is some shadow there, but it's low cover. It's waist high at the highest. So in order to exploit that, you have to get down pretty low, and Tork is a pretty big guy. So It's
I feel very out in the open. The sense of battle's coming on.
so
vulnerable.
from that spot, Rhea, you would remember from your your natural 20 perception check above that kind of looking to what we got to your left now are two of those larger yellow kind of shipping crate looking things, and those are kind of like 3/4 cover. Those are another 4 or 5 feet tall, and there is between the cover you're in now and these other two crates that you can see, which are just another 10 meters to your left. Kind of smack dab in the middle of those is a light with the generator sitting there.
Okay.
So that's us making it up to the unfinished building, correct?
Yeah, you're like behind a pile of construction materials that are about 4 meters
Yeah.
shy
the
of the
building.
back of it. Yeah.
Okay. So does this building have any kind of windows or like a door, or is it
Not
just three
nope.
three walls?
It looks like from this side you just see it's just one wall, and then from above you would have seen what would be on your left side a long wall that was unfinished, to what is to your right now a long wall that is finished, and then something kind of moving around, some people or some things moving around inside of it, some light sources kind of like shifting and kind of adjusting.
There's no guards like posted up outside of the side door or anything that we saw, or the.
No, the side door was for the
Was for the
larger
warehouse.
warehouse building.
Oh, sorry.
And,
Yeah.
and there weren't guards posted outside of it, but that first patrol you saw is sort of like moving in that vicinity, which is far, which is a few hundred meters, 100 meters probably to your left. So they're way away. They're facing away from you. They're kind of at the moment not an issue. Kind of just taking a peek over there.
Yeah, you are the most stealthy of us all. It would probably behoove if you would be the one to peek around to see if it is safe to enter that building.
Sure.
Okay. Ray, again, you're moving over to the next group of cover.
After you.
Okay. So
Fine.
Rhea, we'll say, what did you roll on your stealth check before again?
I got a 22.
22. Okay, great. We'll go with that. You're able to dart across the open gap, get behind the crates, the kind of the shipping crates, have a look around. You see now, kind of as you put your back up to these crates, and you would now be facing away from the rest of your group. You looking to the south, you see on your right side a small like outbuilding. Looks like almost like a shed more than anything. Like it's the same prefab white, yellow, and black metal like walls, but it's just a really small building. And make a. Well, no, you don't even need a perception check. You kind of sneak along the backside of the two shipping crates and you look into the unfinished building and you see an LMD engineer looking individual. Kind of it's lighter armor than what the troopers are wearing. Omni tool up, kind of held out in front, and they are commanding one of those industrial mechs that you saw back in Port Fullstone that was loading up the caravan truck. It's kind of lifting and moving and welding some of these kind of big prefab sheets of metal in places. It's like erecting this incomplete structure, and that's kind of the flickering, moving light sources you saw was the light source from the engineer, the kind of the built-in light from the mech, and then this welding torch that's kind of like just fusing these big sheets of metal together as it's putting up this structure. And the mech is at least twice as tall as you are. It's 10 feet tall, at least 10, 12 feet. Big, heavy mech. The only reason you didn't feel it stomping around was all the snow on the ground. That even though this thing is still working here, you can kind of see like. Sorry, what was that?
Oh no, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I was just sort of going on. What are you trying to do?
Would it be possible for me to use an action to do a combat cantrip and tactical scan the mech?
Yeah, what does the tactical scan do?
So basically, I'm spending my action scanning the mech and studying its movement, revealing weaknesses. So I'll make a wisdom check contested by its charisma or deception check. So I'm making an insight versus deception.
Okay.
Let me
Oh,
grab
we got a
that.
natural 1.
Oh shit.
Stupid mech.
The mech stops its
my
welding midway
insight-
through,
Or a 2.
and
It's
just
a total
writes
of
a
2.
list.
My insight is a +7, and I rolled a 14. So
Okay,
I got a
yeah,
21.
so you got it. So what are the parameters of the information you get to learn?
Yeah, so on a success, so I have advantage on attack rolls against the target, and
Okay.
I score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20.
Okay.
Wow.
But so basically, it reveals its
Oh, sure.
weaknesses, and I become
You-
more adept at studying its movement.
Right,
So I
you can kind of see the gaps in the armor and things like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. good
So
stuff.
I just wanted to figure it out because if we end up having to fight this thing, I'd rather know. Like,
Yeah, and this is a seriously heavy-duty piece of equipment. It's a variant of a pretty common mech type that, if you have not seen personally, which you probably have in recent times, given your career, but you certainly are aware of them. It's the Ymir mech, YMIR. The original variant of them was kind of combat security with a machine gun and a missile launcher. But this is kind of an adapted construction industrial variant that's got a big crushing claw and this like welding torch.
I'm looking at a picture. It's cool.
And since these are LMD, these would be kind of black and yellow as well instead of that white and red. Or yellow
So-
for these, kind of keeping with that construction industrial theme.
Biohazard.
Right. Yeah. Kind of high visibility. Don't put your fingers in the gears.
Caution tape color.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember that
I
mission.
come back and report. Don't put your fingers in the gears, you guys. I discovered its weaknesses.
Don't stick your fingers in the
I
joints.
don't know what you're talking about, but I want to fight it.
How many biological
so I
units did
would-
you say?
I would come back around, right, and explain what I saw. I saw the guards, and I saw the mech.
Yeah, we can
what
keep
it was
running
doing.
with that stealth check. It was a good stealth check, so we'll just keep
You
going
can
with it.
communicate through the Omni tool without moving.
It's true. There is a radio. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then I mean, I would like to do that as stealthily as I could. I don't.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Yeah, you can hold up and whisper into it, and communicate that information.
Yeah. So I communicate it to McGowan.
Okay.
Just McGowan.
Just McGowan. You're about to communicate it over the group channel. You go, hey.
Private
I
message.
thought I had to choose.
One at a time.
No, between
You see the
between
group chat,
those
the
of us
three
that-
dots come up, and then they go away.
Why am I even in this group meet?
Oh, okay. Well, sure then. Fine. I go in the group chat, and I'm like, hey guys.
Or you send the message to McGowan, and McGowan just goes, "Why are you only telling me?"
Wait, aren't you in the group chat? I'm
Why
like,
would you
there's a
just tell
group chat.
everybody?
That moment when you realize most of the people in the group chat went to another one, but you weren't invited.
But you weren't invited
yeah.
to the next group chat.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We were planning a
Okay.
surprise for you.
Yeah.
you relay your information
Yes.
to the group that there is one of these big mechs accompanied by an engineer who seems to be keeping an eye on it and just sort of like monitoring it.
So it was just the mech and the engineer.
That's all that she was able to see from where she's able to use that cover. And I would say because at that point the officer and the two guards are no longer they're not in your line of sight anymore. And yeah, you don't see any other activity. I mean, I guess you would still see kind of some more of the similar lights coming from the other incompleted structure.
That was
Would
a DM sigh, like we just missed a huge opportunity.
No,
Would I know, or would anyone in the party know if we could use this mech to our advantage if we took out the engineer?
make.
I was trying to get to that.
Yeah,
Ah!
both of you make engineering checks.
Let's see here. Engineering, the one thing I am super good at.
In the future, it's a good thing to be good at.
21.
21, okay.
21.
12.
Well, Omega, you do know.
Alpha.
Sorry, yeah, Alpha and Omega. You do know that these mechs have kind of a failsafe switch. Kind of near on the back side of them, near their kind of like hip pivoting joints. It's not like in a dangerous spot, but it's kind of just on the back and out of there. And you can, they can be used to, your Omni tool can be used to kind of flip the switch, so to speak, and turn it off. I have it written down here.
Or theoretically, if we were to get rid of the biological unit controlling the basically remote controlled robot, possibly somebody with a greater skill could take control of the robot.
I would say you could definitely try something like that. Yeah.
And then we could strap the robot with grenades and walk him over to the officer.
I like this plan.
Just walk them over.
Yeah. So what you recall, Alpha, is that most mechs, or like robots, non-Geth, like VIs, have an emergency shutdown protocol that can be triggered.
If we were able to dispose of the biological unit, Alpha is pretty positive he would be able to turn off the mech and possibly turn it back on to our benefit.
Who can do this the most quietly?
If we only had some kind of stealthy assassin person.
If only. I got you.
Okay.
Well, then what are you waiting for? Kick it off.
Well,
I would say by now it's been more than
Yeah.
it's definitely been more than 6 seconds. So if you wanted to use your ability again on the engineer, you could.
My ability?
Yeah, your scan. Is that a multiple? Is that like something you can do every round, or like
Well, yeah,
how many times per day?
a cantrip. So I can,
sure, yeah.
Yeah, I can just use it.
Yeah, it's been long enough where if you wanted to use it again, you could.
I mean, the duration's for 1 minute.
You targeted the mech though, right?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if you felt like you needed to, you would be able to use it on the engineer as well.
Why not? Oh, fuck. Well, I probably kicked your ass. What'd you get?
I got a where'd he go? I got a 16.
Okay, I got a 26.
Yeah, so you got him again. So you have
Nice.
advantage on both of those enemies. How long does it last? For a minute, you said?
A minute, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd say you've probably got like 30 seconds on the mech now after kind of a brief back and forth, and now a minute on the engineer.
Which the mech is controlled by the engineer. So if you get rid of the engineer, I could turn off the mech.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do your thing, nerds.
Well, I just used my action to do a cantrip, so I have to wait until next round.
You're not in combat right now, so we're not necessarily dealing with rounds.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a little faster, a little more loosey goosey.
So if you want to sneak up to
taking
him and
aim.
do like your sneaky
Well, I was
stuff
going to
to
say,
him.
like while she's doing that, are you getting into position, Alpha?
Yeah, I will go through and I'll leave Omega behind, and just Alpha will start like working up to there.
And what did you get on your stealth check before?
14.
14. Okay, yeah, you're still good. So you kind of move up. And do you want to stay on the same side of the building that you're on and just get up behind the wall, or do you want to like kind of creep around towards where Rhea kind of pinged these two guys? Well, you'd be able to, with your combat sensors, you'd be able to sort of figure out where they are. They're close enough.
Yeah, basically, I would go to the side where I'm least likely to be detected, so I don't interfere with her sneaking up on them.
Okay. Yeah. Make a perception check to kind of like see which is the best way to approach, because you could go on either side of the building, but there's maybe some potential differences in your approach depending on which side you go on.
19.
19. Okay, so what would be, as you're kind of looking at the back wall, will be on your left side. There's nothing. You just kind of know you saw Rhea pop behind the corner around these couple of these shipping crates. On the right side, you see 40 meters or so away, the pair of guards with their Varen at the cave mouth, who are not like looking in your direction, but they are over in that direction. And you sort of surmise if you were to go that way, there's a good chance they might spot you.
Definitely left side.
Okay, so you go into the left side, and we will say that you kind of creep up along the left side wall and stay just a few meters short of where the incomplete wall ends. So you, like Rhea, as you're kind of looking into the building, you see Alpha like kind of with his back, or sort of in his dog form, kind of like crouching along the wall there, kind of getting ready to jump. So
there is just the engineer over there with the mech, correct?
Yep, that's all that Rhea was able to spot.
And I've taken aim at the engineer.
Yeah,
yes?
and yeah, I would. Yeah, you've kind of like popped up around the corner and are now just with the scope or poking around the side. And from your looking around earlier, that you didn't see any other people kind of in this spot. By now, the officer and his guards have moved well past the structure he came out of, which is like just a little ways over. So it doesn't seem like there's anybody else around right now except for the two guards up at the cave mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I want to take aim and try and shoot this engineer.
All right, go for it. Roll an attack roll.
Sick. Okay, I give a little wink over to Alpha. And okay. 16?
16 is a hit.
Okay, so a target hit by this weapon makes a Constitution saving throw.
Well, that's going to be an 18.
Okay, well then you only take 3d6 of damage.
That's still a good chunk of damage.
That's cool.
Okay, so 7, 13, 20, and
Mom, I'm helping.
30 points of damage. Oh god.
30 points of damage. Okay, so the first 10 points of damage.
31. Sorry, 31.
Okay, so the first 10 points of damage are absorbed by the shield, but your tungsten shard just flies out from the end of the sniper rifle. The shield, you see the impact kind of ripple out from where your projectile hits. The shield just doesn't shatter audibly, but you see it like pop and vanish. And then the other 21 points of damage goes through, and it doesn't kill him, but it does knock him down. He's just caught completely off guard by it, and he falls flat into the mud with a he's kind of laying down there. You have a few seconds to react, everybody. So we'll just kind of go around here. Let's go. We'll start with McGowan and Tork, since you guys haven't had an opportunity to do anything for a little bit here. So you guys kind of hear the shot. It's very quiet. The Mass Effect guns don't make like massive cracking sounds for the most part. Some of the sniper rifles do.
But it's also a sniper, yeah.
But yours is kind of, yours was a gift and is a little special, and so it's not so obvious. It's a little more subtle. But you do kind of hear the shot, and you do kind of see Alpha creeping up into position there. So what are you guys going to
do? I can't do anything without kicking everything off, because everything I have is loud.
Sure.
So I'm just going to get my gun ready and keep an eye out for anyone.
Yeah, there's still those two guards with the two bars that aren't that far away.
Okay. I can imagine Tork would be pissed if he heard that we started combat without it.
I want to shoot something.
You started without me.
Okay, so McGowan, you're kind of beating down the guys who are over by the cave mouth.
Yeah, just how far away are they? I don't
2, 4, 6,
have the
8,
map
10, 12,
available
14,
to me.
16, 18, 20. They're like 40 meters, roughly.
What sort of sorry.
40 meters.
What sort of sound would Lance make?
Lance, I mean, it's like a biotic energy thing, so it wouldn't be like it's not going to be like deafening, but it would make some sound. It would be like a kind of a thing, probably.
Okay,
think it'd be a
before
good
You would
noise,
know that because
actually.
I would assume that your character has used this before, and so he would know that.
but before too much time passes, I'm gonna use Lance on the guy that Rhea attacked.
Okay, so you'd have to reposition. And what did you roll in your stealth check earlier?
13.
13. Okay, you're still good. So you would have to reposition.
Yes.
So you're gonna run up. What's your movement? 10 meters.
Yes.
Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You could use your action to dash, but at this point in time, you don't have a line of sight on anything.
Damn it.
If you can get closer.
Yeah, I'll use my action to dash.
2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so you dash up to the cover between Rhea and the mech and the engineer. So you're kind of like in the midpoint. It's like half cover, so it kind of comes up about your waist, a little higher, maybe. Okay, McGowan, you're holding your position there.
I am not. I'm having a hard time displaying the map on my computer, so I can't really see anything.
Okay, well, yeah, you're still where you guys were hiding behind the construction materials when you came down.
Is there cover? No, I'm just gonna stay where I am.
Okay, if you want to kind of stay in cover, you could move up to the actual building itself, which would be taller.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, so you move up there, kind of post up, and you've got the two guys with their Varen dead center.
And have they gotten any closer to me?
No, they're still just standing there. If they haven't moved.
But like by me moving up, have I gotten closer to them?
Yeah, you've gotten, I'd say, 2, 4, 6. You've gotten about 10 meters closer.
Okay, so they're 30 meters from me?
Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 20. Yeah, about 30. Like
Okay.
30, yeah, just a little over 30 probably.
Okay.
Okay, back to Rhea and Alpha. You see Rhea, you see Tork kind of crouch running up to cover in front of you. He's not blocking your line of sight or anything, but you kind of see him getting into position. You see Alpha moving along there, and McGowan, he's out of sight, so you're not exactly sure what he's doing at the moment.
And the engineer is down.
Yep, he's still kind of like he's just sort of starting to kind of get up and move around. He got knocked down, and now he's kind of standing back up.
Okay. Well. Oh, hello.
Finish him.
Finish him.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking I'm probably going to use Lance as well.
Nice. Okay.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Stealing all my moves.
I go, let me show you how it's done. And
So in your left hand, you conjure this sort of blue purple, kind of dark, ethereal shard, and hurl it forward like a javelin. Make an attack roll.
got you.
You made a sound for it before. What was that again?
8.
8. It is a miss. He's not prone, but he's low to the ground, and so you just overshoot, and the lance impacts next to him harmlessly and dissipates.
He's trying to be too cocky.
And at that point, he kind of like turns his head, and you hear kind of through his helmet, "Hey, who's there?" He's not.
Pretty
It's not
good,
like
but I got some
Need
pointers
something?
for you.
it's not like a shout that like the whole camp would hear necessarily, but it's definitely like kind of a surprise alarm.
What?
thing. And in that Alpha, what are you doing as you see this bolt fly by?
So apparently he is still up.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go through and I'll hit him with an overload.
Okay, so you kind of run up to the corner, keeping behind cover, pop out, Omni tool activates, and you fire off an overload. I need to do a saving throw for that.
If
If you're a
that?
quadruped, how does your Omni tool look?
So the Omni tool actually all of a sudden this glowing like yellowish visor around my head shows up, and then I
Oh.
open up my mouth, and this lightning like ball just spits right out of my mouth, and just so, I'm a firing my laser. Blah!
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
I was so excited when we were going through and hashing out how I was going to do this. I basically
Okay, yeah,
vomited
so
out my
I have to
spells.
make a
I'm so
dexterity.
glad I asked.
What is the saving throw I need to make?
Yeah, you gotta make a dex save.
What does he need to beat?
Dex save against my against 14.
14. He got a 13.
All right, so then he gets the full
3d6, and
it's-
he's primed
yes.
with lightning damage. So he is primed for lightning damage, which means if he is, I think it's like in the next minute, if he is hit with
Next round.
the next,
Isn't it?
is it the next round?
I think it's just a round. Yeah.
Okay, well in the next round, I'll double check it, but yeah, I think it's next round or within 1 minute. Next round seems to make more
Oh,
sense.
I
In the next
forgot that
round,
I had advantage.
if he is hit with an ability that is a detonator, it will do additional lightning damage to him because he's been primed with lightning. How much damage did he take?
13.
13 points of damage. Okay. All right. Yeah, he's taken some hits here, and he's definitely looking a little worse for wear. Kind of as he pushes himself to his feet, this lightning is kind of crackling around him, kind of clinging to his armor. And wouldn't it spring to the mech as well?
Well, I can do up to 3 bolts. However, I'm not
up to as many as 3. Okay.
Yeah. However, I wasn't going, or it's within a certain radius. But I wasn't aiming for the mech. I was just aiming for him. So it's
Okay,
just
so
one bolt to him.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then I'll have Omega rush up.
Okay, Omega, what's his movement speed? Was he following
13.
behind you, or was he staying back?
Omega was back, so Omega is rushing up as everybody else is rushing up.
So he is not going to be quite able to get there with his with his regular movement speed. He's going to be just a few meters back from where you are.
Yep.
McGowan, as you hear through the wall this, "Hey, who's there?" You see the 2 guards kind of like look up, and they're not like bolt upright, but you see them like, huh? Well, they're kind of like, "Did you hear that? What was that?" And they start to kind of like move. Well, they don't move. They don't start moving too far, but one of them, with his Baron, kind of begins to wander a little ways away from the cave mouth. Not like rushing or sprinting. Just he heard a sound, and so he's kind of like heading in that direction to see if he can like poke his head around the corner, basically.
All right. I'm going to into my Omni tool whisper. Make this quick. They're going to be onto us any second now, and then I have a beat on him, and if he comes within 20 meters of me, I'm going to open fire.
Okay, I'd say right now, at the end of his kind of movement, he's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. He's about 24 meters away. So he's wandered just a little ways away from the cave mouth, but not too far.
Okay.
Okay, and then inside, well, I think we'll let's roll for initiative.
Yeah, finally.
Since things are getting a little involved here.
And
So, all right, so I'd like all you guys, please, to roll your initiative and just put it in the Zoom chat, and I will get everything written out and typed up here. I've got to roll some initiative as well.
and just to be clear, I'm holding my action.
Yep.
Like Overwatch.
Yeah.
else.
Man, I've got to change my music up here. We're working on getting some like license-free space music and stuff figured out if we can make something that sounds good. But for now, just kind of doing my own thing here. Okay.
Our progression in the chat makes me laugh.
Well, so far we're not talking about a Krogan stripping this episode, so we're already on a good streak.
Wait.
Oh, well,
that's a
now you
good
said streak.
Oh boy. What is your dexterity score, Red and Dan?
Oh,
Just
4.
in general?
Yeah, because you guys rolled the same, and so I used just the dexterity score to break ties because it's just who's faster.
So me.
Okay, so yeah. So, you're faster, McGowan?
Yeah, I have a dex of 4.
Whoa, cool. Okay, so we've got Alpha, we've got Engineer. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves and strategize and things like that while I get this sorted out.
Is
There-
it just time to kill everyone?
I mean,
Or-
as soon as I do anything, yes, because I mean, I have a giant gun and grenades.
Let's get that
So-
mech working on our side, and then
Yeah, like-
just
like-
start murdering.
Well-
at worst case scenario right now, we have 2 more troops with their dogs that are coming over here. So we haven't alerted the entire camp yet.
Yes, let's try and keep it quiet if we can, I guess.
That's not an option for me. I mean,
Well,
my
our
s-
next goal is going to be that group that's outside, right? That just met up that we wanted to do the whole grenade thing with.
I mean,
They-
also just full disclosure, I have no, unless someone else has like sticky grenades that they can choose to detonate. Once my grenades leave my person, they go off. They're just frag grenades. So
Okay. Well, I will go through and I will work on the robot. So don't worry about the robot.
Okay.
The question is now: do we want to open fire and alert the entire base, or do we still want to try to be quiet?
Well, is there anybody that I could try and take? Well, I guess initiative wise, I'm not going to be first, so never mind.
I mean, because we could go through at this point in time. They're coming towards us. They haven't seen us yet. We can go into the unfinished building till they get closer, and then jump on them in melee combat.
It'd be better to have a
Assuming-
surprise round.
assuming we've all passed our stealth checks, which I've rolled 2 1s tonight.
It's kind of my thing to kick it off and run ahead, so I'm waiting to do that.
I mean, I'm in the same boat. Is like,
Hey, if you guys want to go
The
full
thing
full
is-
mode, go ahead.
Yeah, let them take off. I'll stay kind of in a towards the warehouse in between mode to keep cover of you working on the robot.
Well, me working on the robot won't be a problem if they're going out and causing problems.
True, but just in case.
Okay,
All right.
Because I have the range, so I can help them out anyway from where I am.
get the initiative typed into chat here so you guys can see it, and we're good to go.
So Tork, I know that you have your big badass hammer for melee combat. McGowan, do you have anything specifically for melee?
I mean, I have an Omni tool or like an Omni blade. It's nothing super great.
Because if we go through and if we can wait till they get closer and then drop surprise on them, then we might be able to take them without making a lot of noise. Otherwise, if we want to go ahead and shoot them now, we'll take them out quickly. But then now we know everybody's going to come running for us, so we'll need to move quickly and or find a defensible position.
I mean, at this point, I think if I move, there goes surprise.
McGowan, I would say, based on some of your backstory information that we've discussed, you would know that like kind of standard LMD gear, like armor, it's protection against like small arms, like
Yeah.
at close range, but it's cost effective. It's not crazy good. Like the armor that compared to like the armor that you're wearing, you know,
Yeah.
like kind of your custom suit here, like it's shit. It's really bad compared to that. Like this is it's like stormtrooper armor basically. You know, it protects against some things,
Not
but like
designed to stop lasers.
yeah, not like designed to stop everything but basically. It's like it's like protection from the environment, but when it comes to like sustained fire, it's like a Kevlar vest. You know, it can take a couple of hits before it's not really much use.
Yeah.
So
I'll crumple it like a tin can.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so first up is Alpha and Omega. Since
All right.
Omega is sort of like your familiar, he goes on your turn. At least that's how I do it, because I, as the DM, often forget that people have familiars. People I am in groups with, bad luck, who have animal companions, forget about them, and so it's just easier this way to just remember that we've got like familiars and animal companions and things
That's
like
just
that. So they
fine.
just go on the player turn. So
Yep. So Omega is going to go through and it's going to rush up to Alpha to go meet up with him. And I'm going to go through. Shit. Okay, so the engineer is going to get to go before you. Okay. Well, at this point in time, we need to finish off the engineer before he notifies the other guys. So
he is primed, the engineer. So he's primed with electricity. So if he hit with a detonator, it'll do some extra electricity damage or lightning damage.
Will Omega be able to reach up to us and attack in the same round?
Yeah, Omega. He can move 13 meters. How far is his movement?
13.
Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I'd say he'll be able to get within like melee range of the engineer even.
He doesn't even melee range because he's the one who has my he's the one who has my incinerate. So
okay,
then
so he runs up, hops up on top of the low cover, kind of next to you, sort of in front of you a little bit, Tork, not blocking you, but kind of hops up, and now he's just like right up in front.
Yep, and then he's going to puke out a fireball, which incinerate does detonate.
Yep, incinerate. It's like a plasma superheated chunk of like hard light that shoots out from his mouth, flames and kind of heat shimmer around it as it shoots forward. And is that a dex save or an attack roll?
That is, and looks like it is an attack roll. Yeah, there's no save that one.
Sounds good.
So spell attack is +6. So that is a 13, 19.
19 definitely hits. So this kind of orb of superheated plasma strikes. His shields have not had a chance to recover yet, so it just hits his armor and begins to burn through, dealing how much damage?
10, 10, 11.
11 points of damage. It's not enough to kill him, but it burns through the chest, leaving this melted slag kind of around there in this blackened, charred whole circle of flesh where the armor has been melted away by your incinerate. He is very badly wounded.
Then it detonates the lightning.
Yep, and the lightning,
which then he takes an extra 3d4 damage.
Yep. So kind of the way this works for those of you who do not know Mass Effect, there are some abilities that when you target enemies, they kind of leave a field that lingers around them, that if another ability, like a combo ability, is thrown on top of that, a detonator, it triggers that kind of lingering field to do extra damage. And so that's kind of what happened here. He hit him with the overload, which primed him with lightning damage through the incinerate, which detonates.
And then then the detonation does 8 damage.
8 damage. All right, he is not dead, but he is pretty much down for the count. He the incinerate hits him. He stumbles back, and then the lightning that's still clinging to the outside of his armor shocks out and kind of stuns him, and he just crumples to the ground. And he's still breathing, but it's very ragged breathing, and he is incapacitated.
Perfect, that works. And Alpha will go through and start hacking the robot.
Okay, let me
For the
get
mech.
this. Let me get my token situation moved around here because I had to kind of. I got a bunch of stuff ready, and then the maps didn't work, and so I've got to mark some stuff. All right, so Alpha runs up. The mech is still active, and but it's not kind of. It's not fighting or responding hostily. It's still kind of going about its pre-programmed business. So Alpha, you run up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 meters past the crumpled engineer. And are you going to use your action to try and hack this guy?
Yes.
Okay, so please make an electronics check for me.
13, 17, 19.
19. Okay, yeah, you are able to hit that emergency shutdown switch, and the mech deactivates. What you'd be able to
So
do
awesome.
is if you want on your next action, you can use that to attempt to like hack it and take control of it. But for now, you've just powered it down.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'll do next action.
Okay. It's kind of standing there in one of its claws. It's holding like a sheet of metal, and it's like kind of holding it up and preparing to weld it in place, and it just powers down. Okay. Next up, it would have been the engineer, but he is down for the count. Tork, you're up. So you can see, based on the light sources, you can see the guy with the guard with the Varen moving towards you. Again, he's not like rushing, but he is kind of looking and walking towards you. So you could see
How
him
far away?
up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 30 meters.
So I see that Alpha has finished the engineer and has done some hacking on this droid.
Yep, Omega took down the engineer with the incinerate and the overload priming, and then Alpha ran up as he kind of crumpled to the ground, still alive but near death, and virtually incapacitated. He's in that state where if he's not given like immediate medical treatment, he'll just die. And the mech is now powered down.
Okay, and if I exit my cover and head towards those guys, then they'll see me.
It's possible. They at this distance. You're in an area that is pretty well lit, but it is night outside as well. So there are still shadows, and it is snowing too. So there's a bit of visual obstruct. It's obscured a little bit, not a tremendous amount, but depends on how much you move, depends on how much noise you made while you moved, but you could.
I can't make it to them. I have nothing.
You
I don't
can't
have
make it to the
anything.
enemies. No, you could make it to to Alpha and Omega if you want to just like move up a little bit.
Oh, they're up from me. Yeah.
Yeah. You're in this low cover between Rhea and the partially finished structure that Alpha and Omega just kind of ran into and dealt with the other stuff.
Okay, I'll run up to the unfinished structure.
Okay, I'd say you can move 10 meters.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of are able to move just a little past. You're able to move past where the mech is powered down and up to another section of wall that you can kind of like put your back to and see the guard. He's not like approaching with intent, but he heard something and he's coming to kind of like scope it out a little. But you're able to kind of put your back up against the wall, poke around the corner, and kind of you're able to see him, but you're still kind of in the shadows.
Okay, and then I'll just wait here. Damn it.
All right. It would be the mech's turn, but he's been shut down. So next is the trooper with the Varen. They are going to move up a few meters. I think they're moving into your range, McGowan. Let me double check here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yeah, they would be moving up into your range. So if you're holding your action, now is when you shoot. Otherwise, you can let the
Yeah.
action fizz away.
I'm gonna if they're not on to us, I'm not gonna make a whole bunch of noise while we're all
Okay, I mean,
still
they are
this close
now
together.
just like 6 meters away from the prefab. So like you're kind of like on one long end of one long wall, and they're kind of just beyond the other long wall. So they're coming up to where your friends are. They haven't seen them yet, but they're very close.
And like, is there just like a corner separating them from?
Pretty much, yeah. Just pretty much, it's just a corner blocking visuals.
Okay, I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take my action. I can't sneak up to them.
Okay.
And,
McGowan's machine has this big machine gun with this metal plate on the front, almost kind of offering a little bit of like cover as he's aiming down the sights. Just shoots off these heavy rounds echoing off the side of the glacier. Make your attack roll, McGowan.
There's a 25.
25 will definitely hit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And are you shooting at the guard or the
Damage, do
Varan?
we add our?
Are you shooting at the guard or the Varan?
I'm shooting at the guard.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Just wanted to make sure.
The guard.
That's what I thought, but just kind of double check.
Yeah. Do we add our like attack bonus to the damage roll?
Yeah. With the guns, actually, I don't think so.
Good question.
Let me double check real quick. But yeah, I don't think so with the weapons, because normally it would say plus your modifier. So hang on. This is the first campaign that I've run in this system, so I'm still kind of committing some of the differences to memory from standard 5e. So bear with me for just a second here. I'm trying to remember where there's B combat. All right.
Both of my cats are demanding attention at the same time.
They'll do that. One of mine was being very needy earlier.
I'm gonna throw a tiny bit of food in their bowl so they don't stop freaking out.
Smart.
It doesn't say, so I think no. If it doesn't have it on the, I'll double check this when we're before next time just to make sure. But I think this is one of the key differences, is that because the guns are already doing a ton of damage compared to their counterparts in standard 5e, and because they're guns and not like a sword or something that requires a ton of finesse to use, or a little more intuitive, I think we go sans modifier for now, and I will double check that. But that's how we've always played, so I think that's what it is. But
yeah, like you get the advantage of range, but you lose the
yeah,
damage bonus.
Yeah. Okay. So then that's going to be 13 damage.
13 damage. Your shots fire out and just rip through. The shields on this guy go down with the first shot. Let me make sure I've got all my information here correctly. I had to move away. This is why I want a third monitor, so I can have the handbook over here. Yeah, shields go down, and then with the remaining damage, he is not dead, but he is dropped and he's prone and he is starting to struggle, and he's still got some strength left in him, you can see, but he's really badly wounded. And the fight that he's going to try and put up is going to be most likely a very short one. Anything else for you, McGowan? I guess that was your held action.
Yep.
So he is going to shoot. As you pop out, open fire. He looks up, aims his gun, shoots. Just as you impact, he kind of fires off. He's firing with an M15 Vindicator, so it's a burst, kind of like a 3-burst fire weapon. That is going to be a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, and you are going to take 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
So your shields should take some of that.
Yeah, my shields take 5.
And so shields are another mechanic for Mass Effect that is not, in standard 5e. The way shields work is that most suits of armor will have 5 or 10 standard shields. And if you're able to spend one whole round out of combat, that armor will tell you how many of your shield points you will regain. Usually it's like 5 or 10 as well, per round, if you're able to avoid taking damage. So his shields are down. You take a shot. He is kind of on one knee, kind of firing at you with one hand, and he releases the chain, kind of the light chain on the Varen, which takes off running towards you. The Varen has used most of its movement, so it's not able to get close to you, but it is then going to take its action to dash and close the rest of the distance, kind of bounding around the corner and jumping at you, McGowan. But that's its turn. It does not get to attack since it used its action to dash. It is your turn, McGowan. Next up is Rhea. So this Varen is like pouncing at you mid-air, claws forward, mouth open, drool slavering from it, big kind of bulbous sort of insectoid eyes.
Yes. And I'm going to pull up my gun and shoot this thing in its stupid face.
You're up next.
Or just pull out a treat and say, "Who's a good boy?"
Yeah, so it's McGowan, it is McGowan's turn at the moment, and you actually wouldn't be able to see any of this, Rhea, because it's kind of on the other side of the boxes from where you are. And you have a line of sight because this is happening on the other side of this partially finished structure, kind of back by where you guys started.
It's in close combat with me, correct?
Yes, it is in close combat range.
All right, then I'm going to take out my Omni Blade.
Your Omni tool lights up, and this sort of underslung bayonet kind of blade appears, and you kind of wind up.
And does a 15 hit?
15 will hit, yes.
Okay.
The Varen pounces, your Omni Blade activates, you punch forward, the blade cutting into the creature's face.
That's going to be 10 damage.
10 damage. It is not enough, again, to kill it, but you have incapacitated this creature.
Don't forget that is a melee weapon, so you get your strength bonus for the damage.
Well, yeah, I mean, I already added that.
Okay.
It's 1d8, and I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's not dead, but it is like the engineer, incapacitated, taken down. Your Omni Blade cuts like right through its lower jaw into its neck, and it is bleeding out like mad on the ground. It is no longer a threat.
Nice.
Hey, yeah, nice job.
Okay, anything else for you, McGowan? Bonus action movement?
Can I just see if the people by the entrance to the cave have figured out what's going on? Or is that not allowed?
I mean, that I would say,
You're
like,
able to see it, or
you would just look around and see it. It does look like the other guy is now kind of reacting. He hasn't moved yet, but
Okay.
he's now responding. He heard the gunshot went off, and his attention has been grabbed. It seems like.
Okay, well, I will just stay where I am then.
Okay, sounds good. Rhea, you're up.
okay. So I'm also having a bit of difficulty with the map, but I've been keeping
Yeah.
I
Maybe we should do some some tests and stuff between now and the next time and see if we can
Yeah.
figure this out.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. But just on the who's coming at us at this point? We have the engineer down. We have the Vanguard down now.
I would say from your position, you can't see anybody else from where you are. So you could try and move. There's, again, to your left from where you are is that sort of shed looking structure. And on one side of the back wall, which is the closest wall to you, there's another small stack of that kind of low cover there. If you wanted to kind of like reposition and kind of get a look at the direction that you saw.
Shed.
Yes, you run towards the shed, and kind of would put you down. Using the low cover there, you'd be like 4 to 6 meters away from what used to be the far wall of the larger warehouse type building.
Okay.
From your approach, so now you're just on the other side of it and looking down the corridor there. This would be your action, by the way, to observe. You see the officer, his 2 guards, and you can hear a few other people moving in your direction. They're not sprinting, but they're moving quickly.
Okay.
So you can see, I would say 4. You could see the officer and 3 LMD troopers, and it sounds like there's a few more people moving in your direction from back over by the vehicles.
And that is my action to observe.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm going to relay that information through the Omni tool to them.
Yep.
In the group chat.
More incoming.
There's more incoming. We have an officer and 2 other bros.
But the
More incoming.
Plenty of bros on the way.
Officer is our main target, correct?
Oh yeah. I'm assuming he has the key card as well. That's going to be my assumption.
Okay. All right. Any bonus action for you, Rhea? You still have to see. You can move 10 meters, 2, 4, 6, 8. Your movement's up. So if you have a bonus action, you can take that. Otherwise,
I do not. So
okay.
I'm just gonna hunker down behind this shed, this outhouse.
Okay. It is Alpha/Omega followed by Tork.
I'm gonna keep hacking the mech.
Okay, make an electronics check again.
And 11, 6, 17.
17. The mech powers on. Mech online. Waiting instruction.
And so the mech was going through and was welding on large pieces of metal, correct?
Yep, he kind of like had one in his hand when you powered him down. He's got a claw for a left hand and a welding torch for the right. Let's see, I will do my best to send you the stat block I made for this guy because he's a little customized from the variation. And if you can't read this, I will just do my best to answer your questions.
That's okay.
But it's all handwritten. I should type this stuff up and send it to you. If we're still using him for next session, I will definitely type something up and send it to you.
Sure. Well, basically right now, I want to make sure
I'm such
that
a handwriter too.
Right now, I just want to make sure that he's holding a large piece of metal that could be used for something like shielding.
Yep, he is holding it in his claw.
Okay.
And I would say it would basically act as like cover.
Mm-hmm.
It would confer
I'll radio to everybody else.
Mech has been converted.
And Omega will just wait with me, protecting me.
Okay. Omega jumps inside the building with you there. Anything else for you?
At this point in time, the officer and the 2 guards are coming towards us, correct?
Yeah, you haven't seen them, but Rhea relayed that information.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll just go through and kind of either hide behind some boxes or go around to the other side of the wall.
So yeah, we'll just hop down onto the other side of the wall that Tork was behind.
What's the range of the control for the mech?
I would say the range would be we'll go 10 meters, like 30 feet.
Okay.
Roughly. Because we'll go 10 meters, 30 feet. That sounds good.
I've just been digging through the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
and you do add dex to damage rolls.
Oh, cool. Okay.
With range
I don't
weapons,
know. I
yeah.
couldn't find. So yeah, we'll just.
That's
all right,
awesome.
There we go. Clarification on that. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
It's in the using ability scores under dex.
Okay. I was looking at combat, so that would make
Yeah.
sense. All right. Okie dokie. So it would be the engineer's turn, but he has croaked.
Ah,
Tork!
Ah.
Tork, you're up. You just heard McGowan's rifle go off on the other side of the wall. You heard another guy grunt in pain. The guy that you were popping around, you were able to pop around the corner and see. You saw him get hit and go down, and you could also see now that the other guard and his Varen that were over in that direction have had their attention spotted. He is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10,
Who do we
12,
appreciate?
14, 16, 18, 20. Another 30 meters away. You moved up and it just put him about 30 meters. Running into that 30-meter thing a lot tonight. And then from your position, you would also not be able to see the other group approaching. But again, Rhea has communicated it, so you are aware that other people are coming.
30 meters is too far. Well, I'm just going to start running out towards them. I'm going to give one of these and run towards them.
Okay, so you're kind of running back. Are you running in the open, or are you trying to use cover? How are you approaching this?
Head on, baby.
All right. So you're doing a dash as well?
Yeah.
All right. So we got you 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So now you're kind of coming up on the side of the shed around the corner to Rhea's right side. So he's like on the other side of the building that you're looking down, Rhea.
Who is? Oh.
You are. Yeah, you're approaching the opposite side of the building that Rhea is looking down. Okay. It is the mech's turn. So what is the mech gonna do now that he's powered back up and ready to go? Since you're controlling him, Alpha, it's on you.
Sorry, I was answering a question here.
That is
So
okay.
So at this point in time, we have the other guard and the Varn that are coming towards us, and we have the officer and 2 bodyguards coming towards us as well. Correct?
We took out the Varner, I thought.
You took out one of the Varen, but there was a pair. So there was 2 guys that were guarding the cave entrance. Each one of them had a Varen. So one of the Varen is dead. Presumably, you haven't seen that. But there is one other one that has not started moving yet, but it has been alerted.
Okay, so he's been alerted, but he's not coming towards us. But there is the officer, the 2 guards that are coming towards us.
Yep, and those are actually kind of on opposite sides of the building you're in now. So the one guy with the Varen would be to the north of you. The group that's moving towards you is coming from the south.
Okay. I'm going to go through and is there a good spot to hide in the little unfinished building, like behind some boxes or something like that?
Just outside. There,
Okay.
you'd kind of like run up on your last round and kind of taking some cover behind like half cover on the other side of the half cover that Tork had previously been using before he ran into the building.
Okay. So I'm going to go around the side of the building towards the cover side, towards cover,
Yep.
and have the mech move around from the wall that was finishing on to more of the south side, to where
Okay.
the officer and the guards are coming, and have him to start working on the wall like he's working on it.
Okay. So he kind of moves up behind you guys, kind of in front of the body of the dead engineer, who's now up at this point died.
Wait. I'm going to have the mech basically step on the body of the engineer and then just start working.
So
it looks like the mech accidentally killed him.
You see, as you kind of command this, the mech stomps one heavy foot down onto the body, presses it into the snow and the dirt, and you see the armor like splinter and pop, and viscera and blood start to like ooze out of the cracks in it.
Biologicals are so gross.
So he's
And then-
standing behind you. He's kind of holding up this piece of metal blowtorch, just like, just kind of like going away there. And he's just sort of like he's sort of doing like the human equivalent of like looking busy.
Yes.
The mech
Yes.
version, the mech version of looking busy. So instead of like wiping down the same counter spot, he's just kind of like moving this arm with a big piece of metal in it and moving the blowtorch around. Under close inspection, it's very easy to tell that it's just kind of like moving, but at a distance, hey.
If you can lean, you can clean.
Exactly. That is
Yeah.
exactly it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mech's turn. He's holding action. Look busy. And it is now the rest of the troopers' turn. So the guy that you shot at, McGowan, he's gonna kind of limp over to the wall, having just seen Tork run out from behind there as he kind of like stood up. So he's taking cover. He's going to pop up from behind that cover and fire his Vindicator at you again.
Okay.
That is going to be another 21.
Yeah, that'll hit me.
So that is, wow, I'm rolling really well. That is going to be that is going to be where'd the damage go? An 11 points of damage. Piercing damage, and then for a bonus action, he's going to use his once per day tech armor. So as he kind of like gets behind cover and shoots, you see his Omni tool flare up, and then these kind of plates of hard light kind of form around his shoulders and his torso, and kind of a little bit around on his face. It's not like actual body armor, but it's this sort of like projection of hard light that acts as a little bit of a barrier. Kind of giving him a little bit more protection. You are also primed with electricity because the Vindicator has disruptor ammo.
Okay.
So remember, make a note that McGowan is primed.
Primed and ready.
Ready to go.
You are primed with lightning damage until the end of its next turn. All right, so then the other guy, he's going to move up too, seeing, kind of hearing these gunshots and things going off. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then he's going to loose the Varan. The Varan is going to head in the direction of I'm going to roll for the Varan. Let's see here. The Varan is going to head in the direction of the gunshots because so far that is the loudest noise. So he gets to move an additional, and then he's also going to dash. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. How far is it? It was, okay, 10, 12, 14, 16 meters. So he'd be about 8 meters away from you around the corner, McGowan. He's not on top of you, but he's getting close. And from his spot as he's moving around, the other guard is going to take a shot at you. You should be adding, by the way, to your armor class since you're in cover. You should be adding, for full cover, I think it's like a +5 or some crazy thing.
Oh, I'm in full cover right now?
Yeah, you're behind the wall.
Yeah. If it's +5, that last one didn't hit me.
Okay, well, okay, yeah, it's the same round, it's the same turn, so we can retroactively change that. So you are not primed, and you didn't lose 11 hit points. So the second shot, but he's gonna shoot again at you. Again with I want to double check and make sure I've got this right for the cover, because in regular D&D we don't use cover as much, so I haven't committed it to memory like some of the other things. But it's really important in this because your shield, everything does way more damage. Okay, so I need to look for cover 196 in the player's handbook. 196 full cover
in the handbook. I have it in paper.
This would be 3/4 cover for a +5.
Yeah, okay, so then that one didn't hit me.
Yep, okay. because you're standing right on the edge of it. So like if you were back a few steps on the wall, you would be in full cover and you wouldn't be able to be targeted at all except for like area of effect attacks.
Yeah.
But since you're right on the corner, we're counting it as 3/4. All right, so second attack. That is gonna definitely be a miss. 7 + 4 for 11. So yeah, the shots from this second round of disruptor ammo just ping off the corner there harmlessly. McGowan, you're unscathed, and none of them even touched you. Okay, now it's the group that is running up.
The turn.
I'm gonna roll perception check. Nope, Rhea, they don't see you, so they run by. But Tork, 6, 8, 10, you see 2, 3. So I'm just there's a few of them here. I'm gotta move up. You see, I would say at least from your perspective, you'd be able to see 5 guys total. 4 troopers and the officer. The officer kind of in the middle of the 4. 2 of them in front, 1 off to the side, and another kind of behind the officer.
Okay.
And they see you as well. So they're going to shoot.
They would.
So I'm going to roll for the troopers first. I'm going to do some kind of streamlining here. What is your armor class, sir?
What? I only have an armor class of 16. That sucks. 16.
What kind of armor do you got?
Medium for
Medium.
Vanguard.
No. Well, so
Only
then-
soldiers can wear heavy armor without proficiency, or without having to get the feat. Which I think is weird. Vanguard should be able to wear heavy armor, in my opinion, but they are pretty OP in every other regard.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, what was your armor class there, Tork?
16. he said.
16.
Okay, so the 2 guys in front hit, the 2 in the back miss their tungsten rounds, sailing wide. These other guys, they are going to do a total of 9 points of piercing damage. You are primed as well now for lightning damage.
Okay.
And they are then going to use their bonus actions also to activate their tech armor, which would grant them a +2 to their armor class, as well as some other fun things. So it's that same kind of hard light shell that materializes around their physical armor as they run. They fire off their guns. Either their shots miss or they hit, and then they pull up their arms and the tech armor appears around them. The officer is also going to throw up tech armor as a bonus action, and he I don't know. He is a little too far away to shoot. You can see he's carrying a shotgun. So all he's going to do this round is throw up the tech armor. So let me make some changes here.
How far are they?
From you, the closest one, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 meters away from you is the closer pair.
It is
Somebody's been working on
time.
his evil laugh.
It is time.
My time has come.
Oh, wait.
Simba.
Torque smash.
That was a quality Krogan laugh right there.
Thanks,
Yeah, it
man.
was. That was
This
really
is
good.
about as good as it
That,
gets. Yeah.
that was the Krogan laugh I've been waiting for. Okay, McGowan, you're up, sir.
Okay, so I've got a Varen bearing down on me.
A Baron.
The old Baron.
Yep, he's like 6 meters away, 6-8 meters away.
Oh, I'm just gonna shoot him with my
Do
gun.
it. Another deafening series of shots from McGowan's light machine gun echoing off the side of the glacier.
And he's just a hungry boy. Just give him a little nipple and he'll leave you alone.
Does an 11 hit?
An 11 against the Baron? I think it does. Yeah! No, it doesn't actually. It's a little too quick. It kind of dodges and ducks to the side.
Are you gonna be like,
ding,
yeah? No.
ding. I thought, because I got two numbers mixed up. I flipped them around. They have an 11 for something, but not that.
Okay. Well, I get my shields back.
Yep,
Worst
yeah,
DM ever. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm terrible. You die from a heart attack.
Wait, no, nope. Oh.
Okay, so I get 5 points of my shields back, and then
No,
I'm
you
gonna
don't,
use I'm gonna use a bonus action to hit myself with a little meta gel. What do I roll for that?
Your Metagel, it is,
Yeah.
I believe, 2d4 plus 4 for a basic Metagel.
I forget how barrier ticks work.
Cool.
Suppose I could look it up.
And is that other group coming from the south? Are they within my field of vision at all? I can't.
No.
I can't do anything. But yeah,
No,
okay.
you cannot see them. You know they're coming, but you have no idea how far away they are or anything.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay, and you're not gonna move or anything.
I'm liking where I'm at. I
Okay.
like my cover. My cover's good.
All right, Rhea, you're up, and then it's back to Alpha and Omega.
Okay. So what did you say about did I mishear you saying something about the gun that the Varen is using?
No,
Varen?
Varen do not use guns. They are basically dogs.
Okay.
But there are, so the guards, like the main like troopers, their weapons. Well, you haven't been shot at by any of them, so you don't know this either. Yeah, they just like you.
That's
So
okay.
as they run by, actually, now that it's your turn, you see what you, based on just doing the math, is all 6 guards from the trucks,
Yeah.
plus the 3 from the building. So there's 9 guys running towards the building. You now would have the last 5. So the officer and then the 3 troopers that were in the front are out of your field of view, but you can see the other 5 kind of following up behind them.
And they're in a bit of a group?
Yeah, they're all pretty close together.
How far am I from them?
You are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. You're 28 meters away from the closest one, and you'd be like 32 meters probably from the furthest one.
Okay. Well, I'd like to run up to the nearest cover I can get to and I guess take a shot at, I guess, whatever. I want to take a shot at the lead dude.
The officer?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you could do here, since there's actually down the field of, or the line of sight you have right now, there's actually no other cover except for the stuff that you're behind. But what you could do, you could use part of your movement to like move up, take a shot, and then use the rest of your movement to jump back if you want to do something like that.
Well, I don't think even range wise I would need to move. It's just more so about what I can see.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'd say you could move 4 meters and get a line of sight on the back of the officer as he's just about to disappear behind the corner.
That sounds spicy.
Okay. So yes, you could take that shot if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So I sneak. Rhea kind of does her little step up a couple meters, and she sees him just going around the corner. Realizes she has. Oh, okay. Yeah. Realizes she has time to get a little shot in, and I rolled an 18.
An 18, I think, will hit, even with his tech armor. Yep. Yeah. It hits.
Okay. Sweet. And then, so you have to make a con save.
That's right. That's, I think, going to be a fail. That is a 10.
Armor bounds. All right. So you're gonna take 66 of damage.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
Owie.
66 damage for a second. I was like, that's the biggest swing I've ever seen.
Oh wait. Hold on. I gotta do this
Never
correctly.
fail a
I'm
con
sorry.
save.
You're going to take 3d6 damage right now.
Yep, and
But
then
then
it's
at the start of your next turn, the blood loss sets in from my harpoon gun, and you take
Yep.
another 3d6 of
yeah. So the
damage.
tungsten rounds that you fire off are barbed on the end, so when you fire
Ooh.
them, they
Gnarly.
shred when they pierce through armor and stuff.
Rhea
so
doesn't
they
not get a
leave
job done.
some pretty nasty internal injuries. And
Okay,
that damage
so-
bypasses shields too. So even if he gets his shields back,
That's sweet.
it'll continue to
Because you just got this
affect him.
big ass hole right in the middle of your chest.
It's another 31 points of damage.
31 points. Okay, so 15 of
32.
that, 32. So 15 of that is absorbed by the shield. So that leaves 17 points of damage. Okay, and that, yeah, it rips through him. It rips through him, and a lot of it is taken by his shields and his tech armor. Excuse me, my throat got very dry all of a sudden.
That's okay.
I need some water here.
I feel that.
No,
Hydrating? What?
Mike, you gotta hydrate, bro.
Just gonna choke to death. Yeah, so you've done a pretty good amount of damage to him with that. It looked like his tech armor took a lot of it, but his tech armor has been pretty substantially weakened. So
Yeah. And then I took my shot and I see that I hit him and I go, and then I run back into my
you've got the movement to do it. Okay, great. I believe that is Alpha and Omega's turn now.
All right. So based off of so at the start of the round, where's everybody at, or where are all the guards and officers at?
Okay, so sorry, I need to mark real quickly. This dude is bleeding. So from where you are, curses. Hang on. I have to move this up a layer so I can see it. Okay. So from where you are, Alpha, you can see the guy that just came around the corner from up by the that McGowan was shooting at. He's like maybe 15 meters behind you. He has not seen you yet. His attention is focused the other way. Because you're also standing kind of behind, like the mech is between you and him, and he doesn't know that the mech is not friendly. So, and then you would also be able to see, I would say, the same guys that shot at Tork. So it'd be 4 troopers and the officer, kind of coming up from the south.
And so is it like you have us here, officers on this side, and McGowan and Tork on this side?
I'd say so. Like if you're here, if this is the unfinished building, the cave guys from the cave are kind of up yonder, and the guys coming from the trucks are coming up this way.
Okay.
And Tork would be like kind of in here somewhere.
Okay, and so from the south, and the south is where I moved to mech too. So
okay, yep. And the mech is very slow though, so it just kind of like kind of moves along.
So how
very slow steps.
How far away are the guys on the south?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I'd say like 30 meters again. That is
that's within range. So
30 very creepy.
I will go through and have the mech start walking towards the south.
Okay.
With the holding the big sheet of metal in front of it.
6. Are you going to have him dash or just keep walking?
Just have him keep walking.
Okay,
He's basically got a walking shield.
Yeah, so now he would be like 6 meters behind Tork.
Okay. Well, Tork can use him if he wants to use him. And from there, Alpha will go through and I will summon. I will go through and from action, I will call a disruption drone over by over by the 3 guards that are coming up.
Got a drone here. Let me pop him down on the map. How far away can he go?
I don't think I ever actually told me how far this summon is.
It should be like a range for the spell, basically.
Like it gave me a. One second here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Close features. Summon. Yeah, no, it doesn't give me a range in the spell.
Interesting. Let me look it up real quick.
Unlimited.
Not
I doubt
usually.
that, but I'm guessing probably 30 or 30.
So you
or
said
40
this is a
based off how it was in the
what
game.
kind of drone was this?
This one was a disruption drone.
Disruption drone. Disruption drone. Disruption drone. I need you in my brain zone. Okay, disruption.
Disruption zone.
Well, this is a class ability, isn't it, for you?
Yes, engineer.
Okay, so characters, classes, engineer. Your drone at level 1. When summoned is an action, so one tech is yeah, it doesn't have a range. Okay, we'll say you can summon it within 10 meters because or let me actually compare it to, let me see if any of these classes that I have here who can summon drones potentially have something. No, they have no ranges on them either. So we'll say 10 meters because there isn't one that is assigned. So yeah, you can summon a guy within 10 meters of you, because in the game they usually kind of summon them pretty close and then they have to move pretty quickly.
Actually, in the game, you can summon them like right next to them. Like there's tons of times I used to attack the guys behind cover.
It depends on how far away like the fight is. I think like if you're okay, so let's see here. We're kind of making a call here. 2, 4, 6, 8. 10 meters is pretty short. Let's split the difference and go 20 meters. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So that would put them, the closest pair would put them like 6 meters away.
Let's see what this. And the range in this is disruption drone range. Oh, it's only 2 meters. Yeah, that's gonna be too far then. Okay.
Sorry, we should have noticed that before and kind of figured.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it till now.
No, I just assumed there would have been a range on it because there usually is something like that, but
okay,
I guess not fine. Here.
So then what I'll do is Alpha will do a cryoblast, which is a range of 50 meters.
No drone or
instead of the drone, since they're further away than what I want to do with that drone.
That's fine.
I will go through and I'll do cryoblast.
Okay. Omni-tool lights up again.
And I vomit out an ice ball at them. They have to make a strength check, or they're frozen next turn.
Who is the target? Is it just one person, or is it like an area?
It's a 2-meter sphere.
Okay, so it would be those 2 guys then. The 2 guys in front.
Yeah. Now, if they have shields, they do have advantage on the strength check.
They both have shields, but I think they both will pass. What do they need to beat?
Strength check.
What's the number though?
14.
14. Okay. Yeah, they both will pass with that advantage.
Okay.
So both up over 14.
So they're both primed cold, and they have a -4 to their movement till the end of next turn.
Okay.
And then Omega will go through and will do his incinerate to try to detonate it.
Okay. See, so they have -4 to their movement, you said?
Correct. Okay. I think it's still end of next turn.
Man, your setup is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't have anything for just like huge amounts of single damage.
So
I have a whole bunch of useful tools to tie everything up.
Yeah, crowd control stuff, man. Crowd control stuff.
Yeah, like I have 2 of the 3 of them slowed down for you guys, so you can just lay into them. And then let's just make sure. I think it's just till the end of next turn. Spell, cryo, frozen.
Dude, it'll
yeah,
be
until the
sweet.
start next turn. So, okay, so that just this turn that they're slowed.
Okay, yeah. So until the start of your next turn.
Ow!
Yes.
Okie dokie.
And
So
then,
then, anything else for you?
Omega's firing his incinerate.
Okay. What's the range on incinerate?
40 meters.
40 meters. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. And this is only a single target.
Yep.
That wasn't as good. It's only 6.
6
and detonate cold.
6 damage. 6 damage.
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 Demonage.
The demonana.
Demonana. Demonana.
Imaginage.
Dimensionage.
I like how you were disappointed by your own joke, Mike.
I wasn't disappointed. I think that song is hilarious. One of the best versions of that song I've ever heard was when I was in high school jazz band. We went to the one of like the kind of rural universities in the state, and it was like for a jazz, but not a competition, but like a showcase, like a jazz band showcase. And one of the groups that was played that song, and the mana guy was on the trombone, and it was perfect.
Oh my god.
It was awesome.
I'm mad that I wasn't there.
Yeah, dude, that was back in like pre like art high school days.
Yes, high school.
One of the coolest things I saw done was someone played Flight of the Bumblebee on a tuba
Oh god.
at like an event that I was at.
Wow.
And I've never seen someone more red in my life, but also
Oh,
more
yeah,
impressed.
seriously. What did
Like,
what did
holy
you get
shit.
for the total damage for our boy here?
Well, it was just 6 for the cold priming. Basically, everyone within 4 meters has to make a DC 15 check, or
Okay.
they're frozen till the.
Within 4 meters. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the one guy he takes.
Yeah. So everybody within 4
6.
meters, DC 15 strength, failed save. They're frozen to the end of their next turn.
Okay. So that's 4 meters. That's 1, 2, 3 other guys. So it's 2 other guys. So it would be the officer, the other primed cold guy, and then that other trooper that you guys can see, or Tork and Omega can see. So I need to roll 3 saves. Officer fails. The guy who is not primed fails, and it's a 14. You said
15 for that one.
They all fail. So the guy who's primed stays primed, but then it spreads to the other 2. So the officer is bleeding, and he is also cold primed.
Nice.
So if they all failed that one, the 3 of them are incapacitated until their next turn.
Okay, so they're stuck. Cool. Let me find the token for incapacitated.
And then they automatically fail dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls against them have advantage.
Yeah, incapacitated works the same way. I can just look that up if we get into an issue. It's most of the stuff that's different from standard 5e that I'm like a little fuzzy on still, because we've only run 1 shots of this. This is my first campaign, so. All right, let me just get all. So everybody's now incapacitated, including that guy.
Well, the 3 that failed the DC 15 ones are frozen or incapacitated.
So does the guy who got detonated have to make that saving throw as well then?
Yes.
Okay,
Everybody within 4 meters.
I didn't roll for him. He also fails. So he got an
all right,
8.
I can't line them up any better for you guys. So
yeah, so
here you go.
Yeah, the 4 guys in front are all primed frozen, or primed cold damage, incapacitated, and then one of them is the officer, and he is also bleeding. So
sick.
But none of them are dead. You guys have to do that part.
Yeah, they haven't barely taken any damage, but except the officer's lost most of his tech armor. Okay.
Let me at him.
All right. So speaking of Tork, it's your turn, man.
Am I in range of the officer?
The officer is 10, 20, or sorry, not 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 meters from you. The guys in the front would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 meters from you. Or no, 16, sorry.
So is it a
Is it a free action to draw a weapon?
Yep.
Okay. So you said the captain is 20
Yeah,
meters?
but there are two guys in front of him that are kind of blocked, that are sort of like not shielding him, but they're just out in front, that are kind of in the way.
Okay, so I can't run through them.
No, you would not be able to, because they would push back, and it would be like a contested strength check to see if you could shove them,
Okay.
which is an action. But
Whatever. I'll just target the left one of the front two guys.
are you moving at all?
I will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to laugh.
Great.
Also, what weapon did you draw?
draw my hammer,
All right, cool. That's what I thought. We skipped over that part.
the Krogan Warhammer, and then I'm going to activate my barrier, and then I'm going to run 10 meters forward, and then I'm going to charge the guy on the left.
Okay, so the guy on the left is now only like 6 meters away. So you charge up. You got those of you who are watching, Rhea. You're the only well, McGowan can't see, but what happens is Tork's whole body starts to shimmer blue, and he just all of a sudden lets out this Krogan laugh, pulls his hammer out, and boom, catapults forward, closing the gap in the blink of an eye. You come forward.
That's sick.
Smash right into him with the biotic charge. What is it, a deck save for this?
Yeah, but if he was one of the ones that was incapacitated, then he fails automatically.
Yes, he does.
So nobody told me you were doing Krogan bowling today.
His legs are frozen to the ground. He's struggling there. He looks up and sees the Krogan laughing with this massive hammer, and all of a sudden, with this not deafening, but this shockwave of air comes flying forward. He kind of staggers back, and Tork is right in front of him, hammer held high.
I can't swing on him with the hammer, but
no, you can't. But you can next turn.
On a failed save, the target takes 1d10 force damage and becomes prone.
Okay, so he just loses. He just takes 1d10 force damage, and is knocked prone.
Do I get to add anything to this attack or no?
It would be your strength modifier, because it's let me look up charge real quick, because again, I still can't. The things are a little. Well, no, it would be your wisdom. It's your wisdom modifier, because it's a biotic power, so it's casting.
So is that just my power attack modifier?
Yeah.
Tight.
On top of the D10.
Boom, 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 boom.
Sorry.
Another one.
That is okay.
Rolling for damage. 7 damage.
7 points of damage. Okay, it's not enough to get his tech armor to drop, but it is an automatic hit. He is staggered back. Charge is also a detonator, so he will take cold prime damage as well.
Sick. How
much is that for the cryo ammo?
Oh, the cold doesn't have damage. It's one that does the freezing.
Oh, sure. So they're just now incapacitated. They're not primed. Oh, they are still primed, aren't they? Right.
I think when you detonate a prime, it removes the prime. So I primed
see.
2 of them, but I detonated 1 of them. So there's 1 that's still primed, and then 3 that are not.
Gotcha. This guy is primed though. He is the one who has not been detonated yet.
So then
Lucky me.
So once again, it's a DC 15 strength, or you're frozen until. Let me double check here.
What would be until his next turn? It's redundant really, because it doesn't stack. So
yeah.
Well, I guess it would be until Tork's next turn. Then I'd say it would be until your next turn then.
Well, so it's on a failed save, the creature is frozen until the end of their next turn.
It's a 2 plus a 1. So it's a fail. So he'll be frozen for 2 rounds. So I'll make another token here, just so that I can remember. or rather, Tork, write down that your guy is primed until the start of your next turn. I got it. Primed for Tork. Okay. Cool. So it's just the. Anything else for you, Tork? You did a bonus action to activate your barrier, action to charge, use some movement. So I think that's the end of your turn.
I'm spent. Yep.
It is the mech's turn, so the mech is going to move up 6 more meters.
Yes.
Toom,
Well, actually, yeah,
toom,
we'll keep doing that.
toom, kind of just slowly stomping forward, just holding up the piece of metal, blowtorch kind of like kind of idly away.
The warehouse and the vehicles are to the south, correct?
Yep, and the
Okay.
mech, that little shed is between the mech and the warehouse currently.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, we're just gonna keep moving mech towards that general direction.
Okay. All right. Troopers. Okay, so let's see. Move 2, 4, 6, 8. Guy's gonna kind of the second trooper that's been shooting at you, McGowan, is gonna kind of try and go up and use a little bit of the glacier as cover. So that'll give him half. So let's see, that puts him at would be a plus. Okay. And then both of them are going to shoot at you. So 2 more Vindicator rounds. I think those are both going to miss with a 13 and a 6.
Yeah, neither of those hit.
Yep. So again, your cover saves you, kind of ricocheting off. And then it is the Varen 2, 4, closing the distance, leaping at you to try and attack you with its bite. Natural 20. So
No.
that is
Ooh.
automatic. So the way I do for the audience at
Sad
home,
rap.
the way I do critical hit damage is we do maximum dice roll. So in this case, it'd be 2d4, so 8 plus a regular damage roll. So 8 damage plus another 2d4 plus 2.
That.
So we've got 8 damage plus. I am really sorry about this, McGowan. It is plus another 10 max damage.
Oh my god.
So 18 points of damage as the Varen's long fangs bite down into your shoulder, and you feel it, and you start to feel your hot blood running kind of through the plates of your armor underneath, as you're now kind of grappling with this large kind of space wolf beast. The other one now dead on the ground, having bled out.
Question.
Yeah.
Melee ignores shields, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I'm
let me
glad
double-
I fucking used that metaphor.
Yeah,
In
let
appropriate
me-
language, use that metaphor.
Let me double check that. This is all stuff that's really good to know because, again, first time playing a campaign. So there's lots of different stuff for the shields here. McGowan, why don't you look into that for me, please?
Yeah, I
we
think
kinda
it
move around
does.
Yeah, that would make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because it's kinetic barrier, so it only really stops things of a certain speed.
Yeah, under shields,
a
it does
certain speed threshold pass through kinetic barriers harmlessly.
Yeah, under shields,
without
it does
effect.
say that
Okay,
melee
so
weapons.
that is the end of
bypass.
those guys up top. It is now the next group. So all these other guys are incapacitated, stunned, shocked, kind of reeling from the impact. Even the officer who was
Well,
kind of
he has
just
to
turned.
take some damage.
Yes, he does. Please roll for that. As he was about to turn after getting shot by you, Rhea. This cryoblast exploded, froze him in place, and so now he's kind of stuck there. However, some of the other guys did see the shot come from behind, and so they are going to veer off. 3 of them are going to break off and begin running down kind of this narrow alley sort of space between the shed and the warehouse. Let's see, that's going to be, they're going to
Which
move.
is where I'm at.
Yep, they're running towards you. You're well
Which is
hidden
where
enough,
I'm
I would
hiding.
say, that they don't see you, but they know someone is over here because there was a shot fired from this direction. So 3 of them are breaking off towards you. The other guy is going to move. The 2 of them that are not incapacitated, one of them, actually, they're both going to. There's a line of the wall panels on the ground, over here that are kind of being waiting to be used. They're both going to hop over that and use that as cover. And they are both going to shoot at you, Tork, since you're the only person they can see. And they still don't know the mech is not on their side. So the first one is going to miss with a 13. The second, however, is going to be a 21.
21.
So he hits, and he will do. I want to make sure I have the modifier correct on that. He is going. Yeah, it is going to be 10 points of piercing damage. So your shields should take some of that, and whatever your shields doesn't take bleeds over into your hit points, or your barrier in your case.
So yeah, I'll use one barrier tick here to absorb 1d8 of that damage.
Okay.
For which I rolled an 8.
Nice. Okay. So you're just take 2 points of piercing damage, but your barrier is dropped now until you. Well, no, you have like 3 barrier ticks per barrier, right?
Yeah, I have 2 more barrier
Okay.
ticks for this charge of the barrier.
Okay.
Glad I used that. Ha!
Yeah, the barrier is key for Vanguard.
Yeah, also glad
is
that
key.
I asked.
Okay, well that's it for those guys. Yeah. So they've all still
the
got.
officer took 19 points of damage.
Okay, so his tech armor drops.
Well, it bypasses shields too. So,
Well, the tech armor is an ability. It's not.
Okay.
It's not like armor shield. It's a different thing. But so the tech armor drops. It only had a few hit points left on it, so that's gone. He loses his armor class bonus as well, and then takes another 16 points of damage. Okay, so real quick here. Sorry, I'm really bad at math. I just need to do a calculator. Okay, great, yeah. So you can see he kind of like leans over and cough, and you can't see it because he's got a helmet on, but it sounds like he's coughing up his own blood.
yeah, it does.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, wait, it's not my turn.
It is not quite your turn yet. It is. So those other guys, they haven't seen you, so they're gonna make a perception check, like a group perception check, to see if they spot you. Or rather, whoever is shooting back here, Rhea. Nope. That is gonna be
I'm too good.
That's a 5. So they're kind of looking around. Show yourself. We heard you back here. But they're kind of like looking around, pointing their guns. The head kind of looking up, maybe up at the roof of the warehouse. But nothing. They can't see anything. They have not spotted you yet. That's the end of the troopers' turns. Everybody else is incapacitated, so they can't do anything. McGowan, you're up. Rhea, you're on deck.
All right, I'm gonna use my other Omni gel or Meta gel, sorry,
Okay.
as my bonus action.
Your Omni tool lights up, and you feel the kind of the gel, like the liquid gel, kind of being applied around like the site of the wound where the Baron just bit into you.
Okay. And then I'm gonna take a swing with my Omni blade.
So you kind of got one arm up trying to push it away. Omni blade reactivates with the left hand, your gun in your right, and you punch up.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Oh.
So max damage.
So 8
That's the highest I've ever seen you roll.
plus.
You get a card, McGowan.
Yay! 8 plus.
I'll send it to you right now.
This dude should probably be dead. 8 plus 13. No. Yeah, 8 plus 13. So whatever that is.
Camera, what are you doing? Goodness. The camera just completely froze. How much damage, McGowan?
21 points of damage.
Yeah, he's dead.
20.
You not only do you hit him with the blade, you punch into the creature's chest and rip up, and kind of tossing it to the side with the Varen blood kind of running down the front of your armor. Your Omni Blade activates and you heft your rifle, ready for the next enemy.
I'll use my bonus action. Dang. Yeah, that'll be my turn.
All right. It is Rhea's turn. No movement from you or anything, McGowan?
No, I like where I am.
All right. Now, let me get you this card sent to you. But it's your turn, Rhea.
Yes.
And I think
So-
we'll be able to go around one more time before we call it a night here. We're getting close to 10.
Man.
Okay. So, because they have not spotted me yet, I want to do kind of a fun thing, I think.
Okay.
I'm behind the little shed, and
Yep.
I'm going to cast my first level decoy.
Ooh.
And summon a holographic copy of myself that is going to run out from behind the shed, or
Okay.
well, not even from behind the shed, maybe just even from behind cover near me.
Okay.
So they have a thought on who did this. So yeah, there is now a holographic decoy of me that looks
Hey,
like it ran out and was like, "What? It was me."
Okay. So you like, which is it running towards them, away from them?
Oh, it's running towards them.
Okay. So
She's
how
spicy.
far can it move?
So it has a range of 10 meters,
Okay.
and so
2,
I can
4, 6. Okay. You're moving at the full movement, or are you gonna kind of?
not the full movement. It's just more so like I want her to appear and then start to kind of come at them, so they feel a sense of threat.
Okay,
from
sure.
The decoy.
Easy enough. So yeah, she
Um,
runs out, kind of gun held at the
yeah,
ready, kind
yeah.
of sprinting down the alley towards them.
Yes. So each time that a creature tries to target me with an attack while this decoy is out, it'll have to make a perception check. So
Okay, cool. Just we'll make.
sorry,
make
my
note of
cat thinks that leggings are like jeans.
it.
So.
Okay, back to the top with Alpha Omega. We'll go through this one last round here before we wrap up for the night, and we'll resume this battle in a couple of
All right.
weeks. Let's get around one more time.
Very quickly, as a bonus action, I just
Yeah.
want to use my Kawashi visor on whichever one of this little group is closest to me. Basically, just for the next minute, I can deal an extra 1d6 damage to that target.
Okay. Yeah, there's one that is closer to you. He's kind of moving closest to the shed wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one I just like kind of target with my Kawashi visor.
All right, let me put a little target marker thing on him so I can save it for next time, and hopefully we can get this map working and you guys can actually see where stuff is. Yeah, I'll mess around with OBS. I think that's going to be our best bet, is if I just replace myself with the map.
Yeah,
Even though it'll be really small, but I think it's still like going to be the best bet.
I can show you tonight. Come on.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do it after.
Let me show you that tonight.
Okay. That's it for you, Rhea Omega, or Alpha Omega, the duo, the dynamic Geth dog duo.
All right. So we've got. Tork's got. So all the guys that are near Tork are frozen, correct?
Yeah, there's 2 guys that are kind of close by to him that aren't, but they were 2 in the back that you didn't see before, which you now would be able to, because they've moved up just enough for them to be in your line of sight.
Okay. And so how close are they to Tork?
They would be 2, 4, 6, like 10 meters away.
Okay. So how far away are they from me?
10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24-ish meters away from you.
Okay, so they're still within range. So I don't want to hit Tork, and I don't want to ruin his fun. So I'm gonna do the cryoblast incinerate combo again against the 2 in the back.
Okay, so cryoblast first.
Yep. Let's see here, and that was, I think it's just a 2 hit, correct?
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
definitely within 2 meters of each. So how far was like the blast radius on that? It's like 4 meters.
For the cryoblast itself was 2 meters, and then if you detonate it, that's the detonate cold. That's
Okay.
4 meters.
Okay, so I think you'd only be able to hit one of them with the initial blast, but
That's fine. If I slow one of them down, it's less fire that he's going to take.
sure.
So let's see, 14 plus 6,
Oh,
20.
man.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that's a hit for sure. Even with
Okay.
the +4 to their armor class from the tech armor and the cover.
Nice. All right, so then that's a strength check against DC 14.
Just from the one guy here, that's a fail. That's an 8.
Okay, so then he is frozen until the end of his next turn.
Okay, another frost token down.
And then Omega misses. He's got a 4.
So he's incapacitated, right? That's what the frozen.
Correct.
means? Okay, so
Yep.
he's
Automatically
primed
failed.
for cold and incapacitated. All right.
Correct. But Omega only rolled a 10 to detonate with.
That is going to miss. Yeah, the incinerate hits the front of the cover. It melts the metal, kind of liquefying a section of it for a little bit, and it kind of flows into one solid little piece there. But otherwise, it has no effect.
And past that, I'm just going to have the mech just continue walking forward another 6 meters.
It's now coming up on the corner of the shed, so it's 10 or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 meters behind Tork right now.
Okay.
So it's getting close. All right. Again, it would be the engineer, but he's dead. So Tork, you're up.
There's only one thing I want to do.
Oh yeah.
And then he pulls his hammer up over his head and just brings it down on the guy right next to him.
Yeah, the frozen guy, the prime cold guy. Okay.
Yes, he's primed cold.
Is this a detonate attack with the hammer?
I don't know.
I don't think so. That may be a cool upgrade
No.
potentially to mess around with at some point, though.
That would be cool.
It would really play into the Vanguard.
Okay.
Yeah, just
So
send everyone flying when you ever
just-
someone with it.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Sick.
Okay, so yeah, it's an automatic hit since he's incapacitated. So just roll for that damage. And he's primed cold, so he'll detonate again and possibly freeze other people, including you, I think.
I just for the excitement am going to use my zero sum class feature.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a fun one. What is this? You get to like
So when I make a melee attack, instead of rolling a die, I can flip a coin. On heads, it's a critical hit. On tails, it's a critical miss.
Okay.
That's super fun.
Yeah, the zero sum.
That's
You just
fun.
like put everything you have into one attack, and either it works amazing.
For the lulls, I don't have a coin.
Get it.
Tails.
I can see him spinning with his hammer like it's a hammer throw. Woof, woof, wham!
Piss! I don't have a coin.
Do you have something that has two sides?
Roll a
that you can-
d4. Even
Yeah,
is
yeah,
heads,
yeah.
odds is tails.
I don't have a D4. I have a lens cap.
That'll
Go
work.
for it. It's coin like.
Which side is head? Which side is tails?
Oh
Call
yeah,
it
right,
first.
right. This is heads. This is tails.
How do you not even have like a penny?
I don't. I'm a millennial.
It's
I don't
fine.
have cash.
I have. So am I, and that's all I use.
All right. Anyway. All right. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
On heads, it's a critical hit. Heads.
Nice. All right,
Yes.
so critical hit. So max damage. So full hammer damage plus a
That's
damage
amazing.
roll. So full hammer damage
The hammer.
without a modifier, plus the full attack that gets the modifier. So you only add the attack modifier once,
Okay.
which for you would be your strength plus proficiency bonus, since you're proficient with the hammer.
I'm sorry. Wait. Hold on. What?
Okay, so it's max damage for the hammer, which I believe is a D10,
It's
D12.
2d6.
So 2d6, so 12 damage plus another 2d6 plus another 2d6 plus your melee attack modifier, which would be your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
So we got max damage for 12 plus 6 with your skills and proficiency. That's 18 plus another 2d6.
Plus then another 6.
Okay. Well, you bring your hammer down, and this guy kind of frozen in place, kind of struggling. He's like, no! Hammer just crumples him. You hit him in the shoulder, and he just gets like, you basically make him one with the ground.
Haha, you little ice cube, I'm gonna put you in a drink.
And he also then, because he was primed coal, well, no, it's not detonated, so that just drops. But he is super dead, and you can, like, his armor, his bones, his flesh just crumples under the hammer. And normally he would get knocked prone, or he'd have to roll a strength check or be knocked prone. But since he's dead, he's just sort of prone anyways.
He was knocked prone just permanently.
Super prone, just perma prone.
So he is very dead. Anything else for you, Tork? Bonus
That's
action,
all I've ever wanted.
Bonus action or a movement?
I just turned to the other guy next to me.
Smile.
Right. Classic Krogan laugh. Did you see that?
He very much did. If he didn't have a helmet on, you would be able. He would be.
I'm proficient in I'm proficient in intimidation. Just so you know.
Yeah, well, you are very intimidating, especially after a feat like that. Okay, so it is the mech's turn, so he's going to move another 6 feet up, or 6 meters up, I presume. So now he's basically right behind Tork. And then it is the troopers. So,
oh my God.
mean,
hold on.
all these other dudes are now incapacitated, right?
All of them except for the one.
Yeah, except for the other one. So they are fine again.
This dude watched his friend explode on the ground, and then a Krogan turned to him and laughed at him in the face while a fucking mech is like walking up behind him. I need this dude to roll for shitting in his pants.
I would say at this point in time, if Tork gets an intimidation roll,
he shits his pants
to his roll.
He's a Constitution saving throw. He got a 5.
He shit his pants.
You get a whiff of something.
No
standing
way!
There.
It's come full circle.
Are you kidding me? Guys, he shit his pants.
That's exactly what a Krogan would say.
The officer, kind of coming to his senses behind him, says, "Get a hold of yourself, man!" So anyways, it's the troopers' turn. Tork, you got a lot of fire coming in at you this round. You've got 3 guys. Two guys shooting at you.
They're frozen until the end of this turn.
Till the end of it is the end of his turn. This is now their turn.
Oh, it's the frozen is based off of their turn, not the one that did it.
Okay. Well, now they're done, and now they're unfrozen.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it for them. That's it for the officer.
I was ready for some bullets.
The other 3 guys, they are going to take shots at your decoy. Rhea.
Decoy.
So they have to roll wisdom saves. You said.
Yeah. Yes.
What do they need to beat?
Oh wow. Wisdom perception check. On a failure, a creature attacks the decoy, and on a success, the creature ignores the decoy, attacks you.
So it'd be your spell. It'd be like your spell save DC.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, so it's a 14. But the thing is, they're also not attacking me. They don't know I'm there.
Right. I guess this is more just so okay. All right. Let me think about this.
So
you're right.
So,
right, I got it. So they're just gonna shoot because they don't know they don't know you're there. They're just gonna shoot at your decoy. Well, one of those is natural. Well, two natural ones.
What?
So two of them, like, they don't
Shoot
just
themselves
miss.
in the face.
They just like shoot the. They kind of like they hear Tork's hammer crush the guy behind him. They like just shoot off kind of uncontrollably, like surprised by this crunching wet noise of one of their friends just being turned into paste. The other guy, however, succeeds, or he hits rather, but since it's an illusion, there's no effect.
But he would probably then realize.
Yes, which he does.
Yes.
He kind of like shoots, sees that he hit, kind of like steps back, and he's like, "She's around here somewhere," and kind of keeps looking around.
Tork is hella amused by all of this.
And then so McGowan, we got the two guys that are attacking you are going to do the same thing again. Both of them are shooting at you. Actually, one of them's going to shoot at you. That's going to be a 15. All right, so that misses again. The other is going to throw an inferno grenade.
I hate you.
So he pulls one off his pouch, kind of pulls the pin and chucks it. Target area within 10 meters of me. He may have to move up for this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, so he's going to run up. The guy kind of hiding behind the glacier, the uninjured one, is going to run up and huck this inferno grenade as you push the dead Varen off of you that you just killed. And please make a dex saving throw.
Okay, I can do that.
I can do this.
Oh, you kidding me? Saving throw.
And it is a 4-meter area, continues to burn.
Well, I didn't pass,
Okay.
so I assume I take a fair amount of damage here.
You will take. Sorry, D4 dice can't be picked up with one hand easily. You are going to take 7 points of fire damage. You're not primed, but the area that you're standing in is now burning on the ground. So it's like this napalm exploded, and the ground has this sort of coating of fire on it that kind of comes up to your knees, your waist. And if you enter it or start your turn there, you take that same amount of damage. You make the saving throw. It's just a Mark 1 or anything, so nothing fancy there.
Question.
Yeah.
Does any of that get dissipated by shields?
It doesn't say it does. I'm going to say, since it's... I will say sure. Like, you will say it because, you get to... again, I gotta read more on shields, I guess. Jeez. I thought I had the shield stuff kind of figured out. But we'll say that the initial burst of energy is enough to damage your shields. Or it's enough to be absorbed by your shields.
Okay.
Okay. And then it is your turn, McGowan. So yeah, you have to make the save again since you're standing in the fire. And you would take
that is a definite success. That's a 24.
Okay, so you will take 5 points of damage since it's halved still.
Okay.
Okay, and now continue with your turn.
I want to back out of this fire.
Okay.
Keeping that guy in my line of sight.
Yep, you can do that. I would say you could even back up back to the cover you were originally behind and do the same thing.
Is he within 20 meters of me?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yep. Okay. Yep, he's just at 20.
I'm going to shoot him.
Oh.
Okay. These huge machine gun rounds firing off.
19 hits, I imagine?
Yes, it does.
14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. Okay, tech armor shatters, drops. He's still up, but his tech armor's gone.
Cool.
Anything else for you, McGowan?
Oh, do I get? I'm assuming I get. Do I get action surge?
I would think so. I would think so.
Or is that just a D&D thing?
I think I've seen it for the soldier. Let me look. Classes. It may be just a regular D&D thing. You have adrenaline rush, but I don't think you have action surge.
Yeah, adrenaline rush looks like action surge.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, cool. Well, you've got it then.
Okay, I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna take another shot at this guy.
Okay, a few more shots go off, echoing off the glacier wall.
16 hit.
16 will hit, yeah.
Nice.
Again, they don't have super great armor.
15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. Yeah, you blow him away. Your shots, his shields are got down, his tech armor's down. And your last shot just through the neck. He drops, kind of keeling over onto his back, throwing his gun to the side. Dead.
Okay.
Okay, well, we've gotten to the end of our third round of combat. Kind of a big combat.
Well,
But
Eloreya gets to go now.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, Eloreya, it's your turn.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Is my bro still alive that I targeted?
Yeah, he was the only guy that actually was able to. He's the guy who shot at your decoy.
Well, all right, he about to get messed up. Well, we'll see.
Shot at the wrong decoy. That was my.
Shot at the wrong decoy. That's my homegirl right there. What you doing? Okay. 13.
13. I think it will hit. Let me double check.
Ah!
Armor class? No, it will not hit. It's just shy. His
Why
tech
would you do that
armor.
to me?
His tech armor ricochets off. I have this kind of trying to remember which.
No, I know. I'm razzing you.
I know.
Yeah, well, that's all I can really do. So I guess I would then take my movement to kind of maybe back up a little bit.
Okay, sure. Kind of from your position here, you could see Alpha and Omega, so you could head kind of back up towards them, back up, kind of regrouping with the main body. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and that will also still kind of keep you a little bit behind cover from the direction that Tork is. Okay, any bonus actions for you at all?
No.
Okay, well, in the heat of battle, things so far going fairly well for the party. There's been some damage taken, lots of enemies moving in, but Alpha has commandeered this mech. Tork is up in everybody's business, about to just smash some people with a hammer. Lots of damage being shared around from Eloreya's rifle, Incinerate, all these other. We got Cryoblast, prime damage. McGowan holding his own, kind of in the rear flank, and that is where we'll pick up in 2 weeks' time. Still infiltrating this camp in the heat of a firefight.
I'm so excited to get more into combat. This has been really fun.
More danger ahead.
Yeah,
but we will find out exactly what all that is in a couple of weeks' time here.
2 weeks from now.
So thank you for joining us for episode 2 of Mass Effect Aftermath. Before we go, anybody want to plug anything, any social media stuff, any projects you're working on?
Follow me, Bad Luck FPV, on Instagram and YouTube for freestyle racing drone content.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna be over on Red Herring this week. Gonna be live throughout the week. I know we just released our first song that's available on Spotify, and we're gonna be recording 2 more come this
Ooh.
week, live on stream. So that's fun to join along with.
That's dope.
And we'll do some Dead Herring next Wednesday in between our D&Ds. So we're gonna talk about the Confession Killer.
Woo. Okay. Well, as always, Known World United has stuff not every day, but many days a week. Every other Wednesday, we run opposite D&DDT, the Tasty Boys, one of the flagship operations here. A long-running kind of casual, friendly game of D&D run by our very own Beard, who happens to be our tech guy running the show tonight, who's had to put up with all my crazy demands for these maps and stuff.
Shout out to James.
As well as like wrestling podcasts, a few other kind of short form D&D campaigns down in Outlands. I know we've got a couple of Star Wars games going on at times. All kinds of stuff. So check back, subscribe to the channel, share the love.
Thanks so much for watching tonight.
Thank you for being back for our second episode. And we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for episode 3, where we'll see what happens as the party continues to explore this camp, look around, shoot guys, and as Tork says, more hammer. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Warhammer.
Bye.